Dude with a creepy grin asks a question and drops the "War's on" bomb. Side A was rocking 37,463 troops. The other guys, a massive 100,000 strong. Smirking again, he asks, "So, who took the dub?" The class just stared, total crickets. Teach pouted at the silence. "Come on, take a guess." 2 kids raised hands, betting on the first squad. "Why them?" She grills him, curious. Spiky hair goes, specifics, 37,463. Boom. A holographic army marches in. Exact counts beat rounded numbers like 100,000. Teach stayed quiet, letting that logic marinate. Then she beams, "Ding ding, we have a winner. Brains beat brawn, fam. Don't ever forget it. Only smart cookies make real knights." Pop. An image of a knight shows up. "What's their deal?" she quizzes. "Chain swords mean honor, dying for the cause?" Total flex. Back in the day, fighting made you a legend. Suddenly, she snaps, "How'd you answer so fast?" "You hurt my feelings," she joked. He just gave her the side eye. "Test tomorrow. You guys are gonna flop if you don't prep." The class groaned, absolutely dead inside. Grinning evilly, she warns, "It's gonna be brutal, gear up." Those 2 looked totally shook by the shade. Class dismissed. "But gimme 100 reps first." Except the genius who got it right. The exhausted class wheezed. "For real? Serious face on. No fighting, or you're toast." Then she just ghosted them in a puff of smoke. The gang checked the kid face planting the floor. 100 reps? We're cooked. One cried, helping Loose up. Some kid poked. The unconscious dude just mumbles, "One hit KO?" Loose shrugged. Teach hits like a truck. "You bouncing, Najin?" "Yup." Green hair whined, "Lucky you." Najin nodded. "I saw your spar with Thadden." One guy grumbled. Nan gave him a serious death stare. Greenie winds up and swings at the teacher. She didn't flinch, just narrowed her eyes, stone cold. Then, her eyes bugged out in total terror. Panic mode. She snatched his wrist to stop the hit. She didn't chill, chucked one dude straight into his buddy. Loose panicked when he caught her staring. She blitzed him, landing a kick that sent him airborne. Loose gasped, trying to compute the beatdown. She towered over the wrecked crew, fists balled up, looking for more. 2 guys watched, shook. One clenched his fists, salty. Najin gave them the death stare. Greenie grabbed Najin. "You just gonna watch? We're a team." Najin blinked, eyes glowing creepy red. The attacker gritted his teeth. "Told you once, man." Fist shaking, he yelled, "Quit ignoring me." Nin darted forward, red eyes locked on. Someone jumped in, blocking Greenie. "Chill out." Then he dropped facts. "Fight again, we're DQ'd." Fedden ain't playing. Greenie glared, huffing and puffing. Loose stayed low. Another kid was like, "Nope. Solid. Let's just start," the peacemaker said. Greenie groaned and stomped off, annoyed. Loose backed off. Maybe they deserve the heat. Guilt trip hitting a little. Angry guy vented. Najin's weird. Always rude. Nagi's worse. Dude just stood there watching. Black hair sighed. Cut him some slack. After that drama? Weird if he times was times normal. The other dude just glared, still mad. Black hair added, "Losing your fam messes you up. Destroys you from the inside." Nin walked off, total ghost mode. Steps echoed, dragging him away from reality. He paused, checking the sky. Sighed at the sunset, watching clouds fade. Staring at the horizon, he got deep, lips moved, silent whispering at the clouds. Just watching the sun dip, looking for clues. Figured it worked. Wondered if anyone clocked it. They knew about the house fire last week. Brother turned to dust. But there was a secret. 0 people knew. He was there. And yeah, he offed his own bro. Najin ate a fist to the face. Week ago, that day, he was already down. Sat clutching his head, hater staring with shade. Rubbed his eyes, showing a weird red glow. The trio stared. One mumbled a fake sorry. Then came the thuds dry, heavy, and loud. He hit the dirt, wheezing. One panted, the other grinned, loving the show. One dude finally said, "Let's dip." Loose panicked but nodded. Then he hawked a loogie right on the kid's face. They stomped off, tossing insults to feel superior. Slowly, he lifted his head up, ran fingers through his hair, surprisingly gentle. Red eyes up, he yanked sticky goop from his hair. Chin up, thinking of his usual routine. Hated this town. Stayed quiet, totally over it. Saw a flyer with his face. Tried to ignore the cringe. Customer dropped coins, grabbed a flyer, ghosted him. Then someone smacked him with the paper. Rude much? He looked down, those red eyes still glowing. Boss watched from the back, cold as ice. Dude's eyes screamed total disgust. Picked up the flyer, reading the bad vibes. Mastered the poker face to save his own skin. Realized he couldn't smile or cry anymore. The man tried to act like he didn't care. Walked off, faking chill, but he was fuming. Walked deep in thought, definitely not cool. The wet flyer dripped, ruining the pick. Imagine being a top night trainee star. Number 2 ranked, super popular, total hype. Red eyes showed his Fire Village roots. Gripped the paper, yep, I'm Najin. Smirked slightly, couldn't control his face. Boss walked up. You're getting half pay. Wait, seriously? Why? He asked, shocked. Felt sick. I did the work. Why half? He snapped. You bailed mid-shift. The guy shrugged. That's total garbage, he yelled. Tried to chill, but got cut off cold. Make it a third. But Lucian dragged me. Still, the man said, okay, now it's a quarter. Stared at his panic. I'm your only option here. Kid's eyes just popped open. Look down. Stay cool, don't cry, don't grimace. Guess he had to stay in zombie mode. Crush the paper. Yeah, I deserve this. Yo. There he is, some random kid screamed, pointing right at him. Whoosh. Some heavy projectile nearly took his head off. Rock hits the floor. Slingshot squad's laughing, calling him a total loser. He smirked. Nice aim, Hawkeye, try harder next time. Bonk. Stone hits his noggin. Okay, spoke too soon. Flashback, 10 years ago, village burning. Totally his villain origin story. Still, he checked the flyer, hoping his drama was about to wrap up. Facepalm moment. Then bam, loud noise grabbed his attention. My bad. He saw a hand, mumbled sorry, then just stared blankly. Oh snap, it was Najin right there. Bro smiled, asking if he's Gucci. He nodded, grabbed the hand. I'm good. Thinking back, he chilled while bro saved everyone. Classic behavior. Instant village MVP status unlocked. Walking with his only fam, oblivious to the creeper watching from afar. He got nosy. Yo, is that a mag you're holding? Before he could reply, bro cut in. Bought it cause of you, actually. He blushed, all awkward. Bro laughed. Nah, for real though. Wait, what? He froze. No way he was the reason. Bro smirked. Kidding. I know it's you, dummy. Flipped the page. Boom. Continent of attractions, travel hype. Grinning, he was like, thoughts? Looks lit, right? Face changed fast. Wait, why though? He asked. Najin just grinned, keeping secrets. Remember how we used to yap about epic quests? He asked. I'm ditching this town. He grinned, picturing the globe-trot life. Frozen wastelands, shiny oceans, mountains. The works. He beamed. Him exploring, bro being the knight. Dream team meetup. Najin nodded. Yeah, I remember. Near home, bro teased, don't cry when you miss me, okay? Stunned, could he really solo this? Door creaks open. Thought being a rookie meant getting back up. Out of nowhere, some shady creep towered over him. Wrong house, buddy whoosh. Something whizzed past his nose. Almost lost an eye. Thwack. Blade embedded in the wood. Yikes. Hoodie guy in a red mask glares up. Najin locked eyes with the glowing menace. Masked dude swung. Bro caught the blade barehanded. Total shock. Stone-faced. Beside him, Negan was like, what is going on? Background creeps. Meanwhile, whispered, he blocked it? Dude's jacked. Scared, he asked, who are these guys? Bro shielded him. Najin stared down the leader reaching out. Saw their grip, the vibe, and knew this wasn't a drill. It was going down. Najin deadpanned, you guys here to delete me? Cute. Come get some. Some masked dude jeered, aw, look at Mr. Hero playing tough guy. Yeah, we're ending you, he smirked. Gonna cry or just die? Najin didn't blink. That's exactly what I was hoping for, he yelled, diving into the mosh pit. Boom. He punted a goon across the room like a football. Barehanded, he caught a blade. Did he flinch? Nope. Ice cold. Too many creeps. Time to unsheath his own toy. Who were these clowns? What gear? Total mystery box of doom. Cramped hallway, tons of baddies. Not exactly a VIP fighting spot. Still, he stood his ground like a bouncer. Metal clashed. If his bro got snatched, it was game over. Total fail. Fine, he'd solo this whole raid party. Bring it on. Just trash day, and he was taking out the garbage. Risky business? Sure. But his mojo was spiking hard. Gut feeling? He nailed this choice. No regrets. Outside, Negan pounded the door, screaming bloody murder. Inside, Najin played baseball with a thug's face. Sneaky ninja with a knife tried to flank him. Nice try. He swerved, dropping 2 bozos instantly. Got nicked by a blade. Whatever. Laser focus. POW. Right in the kisser, 1 mask down. Another dude froze, hand throbbing. Wait, what? Slash. Another clean hit, Najin was on fire. Whoa. Energy blast nearly shaved his eyebrow. Sharp steel grazed his cheek. Okay, that was close. He hopped over a slash, sword grip tight. Parkour. Hop. Skip. Jump. Dodging combos like a pro gamer. Bleeding a bit, but he clocked it. Tight room, fast creeps. But he had their patterns down cold. Just the boss left. The 4 minions were gassed out. The only wild card was that big boss man standing there doing nothing. Masked boss was just vibing, watching the show. Kid's tough, he thought, finally grabbing his blade. Playtime's over. Najin felt the vibe shift. Here comes the main event. Boss man gripped his hilt. It was go time. But then he paused, eyeing Najin like a hawk. Weird. Outside, Negan was losing it. Bro. You alive? Open up. The enemy glanced away. Najin looked up, red eyes blazing like LEDs. Right then, his choices paid off. Negan clawed the door. I'm getting back up. Crash. Roof caved in, Negan got buried by rubble. Freaked out, he shielded his face. Not the face. But Big Bro caught him. Najin stared up, knowing he nailed it. Still, Najin knew the vibe. Being a hero doesn't mean winning. Not with that guy watching. Blade out. Boss man was shook he actually blocked it. But teased, you're still toast, kid. Shaking and hacking, Nin kept his eyes glued to the steel. Sword up, the guy taunted, tank, another or dodge? Nen just froze, totally tongue-tied. Mask guy waited, thirsting for an answer, watching his grim face. Then, a sharp slash hit the hill house. Bam! Nun took the hit on his back, falling but covering his bro. Wincing hard, Nin looked up. Attacker stared. Najin still tried to clap back, even hurt. Meanwhile, he spun his sword like a toy, touched his mask. Realized the kid chose defense, not offense. Nan stumbled, holding the bloody body. Why, bro? I ain't worth it. The boss yelled, wrap it up. We gotta dip. One goon mumbled bout family. Boss side-eyed him. Right after, he grabbed his weapon while the bros stayed floored. Weird flex, he reached out with a deal. Najin glared. The enemy told Neen, end your bro, and you live. Negan's eyes popped. Total shock. Flashback time, they were twins. Unlike most, they were actually BFFs. Nin was a frail kid, he always fought the bullies for him. Memory lane, Neen apologizing, Neen Jun looking salty. Negan was like, stop saying sorry. That's bro code. I got your back, 24/7. He swore Najin was his one and only bro. He hugged him tight, blood and all. You're my everything. Yank. A hand ripped the bloody blade out. Plot twist incoming. Sword hit the dirt with a thud, metal ringing out. Spooked, Noon checked his hands. Truth bomb, he was the real Nan. Terrified, he looked away. Stared at the body, thinking, I killed him. With a sad smirk, he realized he'd offed his own brother. Mask guy held his sword. Die so your bro lives. Negan's eyes went wide. Couldn't believe it. Hand shaking on the grip. Couldn't get why the choice was so savage. Raging, he refused and challenged him. The guy just mocked him. Najin then squeezed his eyes shut. It was decided. Silently, he braced himself for whatever was next. Nan screamed, bro, hang on. I'll hold him off. He promised help was coming, even if he was totally bluffing. But Najin grabbed him, begging, don't. Just stop. Blood started spilling from Najin's mouth. I can't beat them, Nan. No chance. Even so, Nan squeezed the handle of his sword. No way. We aren't dying here, not like this. Najin grimaced, agony ripping through his entire body. 3 masked creeps just watched, silent, like judges handing down a death sentence. The blade's edge, soaked in red, dripped steadily. Drop. Drop. Staining the dirt. Suddenly shocker Nan drove the steel right through his brother's chest. Pure horror filled his face, and he started choking out his brother's name between sobs. Hands shaking over Najin's on the hilt, he screamed for him. Over and over, Najin coughed up blood, gritting his teeth to whisper back. Eyes wide, he tried to say one last thing. But the words died with him. Then he slumped to the ground. Nan just froze, brain offline. It all went down so fast, he couldn't even process the nightmare. His eyes snapped wide, burning with a crazy, furious light. He watched the masked trio walk away. Silent. Steady steps. As they dipped, they said, "Mission accomplished," like they'd just sealed fate itself. One guy droned, "The Woodian flame is out." Ice cold. Nan stood there in the rate. Quiet, paralyzed, while a voice mocked, "Nothing left but ash." Then, a spark hit a paper on the wall. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk, destruction time. Fire raced through the building, eating everything in seconds. Nan stayed on his knees. Alone in the inferno, frozen in time. He looked around, mind racing. Why today? Eyes popping, he screamed at the universe, looking for answers that weren't there. Staring at Najin's body in the flames, he sobbed, "Why'd you have to go?" Voice shaking, bleeding, crying, he tried to speak, but the pain just choked him out. He remembered his promise, protect anyone who messed with his bro, no matter the cost. That memory hit him like a truck, just pure tragedy now. He heard his brother's words again, asterisk, "You're my only family," asterisk, that hurt worse than any wound. He stared at the corpse with red eyes. Pure rage mixed with grief. Determined, he grabbed the sword. Off the ground, its weight feeling like his own heartbreak. Asterisk slash, asterisk, he cut off his ponytail. This isn't over, never. He yanked the ribbon free. The guy who died today? That was Nan. Chapter closed. Surrounded by fire, he screamed his new name. Revenge mode, on. Looking at his brother, he whispered, "Let me take it, okay?" He stole the identity with respect. From now on, he was Najin. That was the oath. Outside, the kid watched the ruins. Under a bruised purple sky. Smoke drifting up in the quiet. Dead serious, he burned it into his memory. There were 5 of them. Boom. Head count done. Put a bullseye on every single forehead. More baddies incoming? Meh, sounds like a problem for later. Here to delete me? Honestly, I dare them to try. I'm pumped. Their one job? Make me unalive. But the why isn't the main drama here. It's bigger than that. All I want is payback. It burns way hotter than this fire. Najin thought, how do I roast faceless goons? But then, realized it's chill. Just a waiting game now. Living as bro plus that sword equals total villain magnet. Easy. They're gonna try to end me. That's the real headache. The masked dudes gossiped about how the blocker was totally a djinn. Shocked by the move, Diamond Guy stepped up like a doctel. Boss. Silent, scary, and clearly the main villain here. He mumbled that it was all a total waste, crying over spilled milk. He blinked, totally confused by the prof's weird vibe. Maybe Diamond Mask knew who she really was. Still lame. Why say waste? Pity is the word, genius. Fed was like, even though everyone dissed your skills, I knew you had game. She smirked. That's why it's such a tragic waste. He stared, starting to doubt her weird riddles. Eyeballing the prof, he demanded a straight answer. Is she Night Fatty N? My life's about to get weird. Clutching his blade, he realized how messy this was getting. Sick sword, she noted. Where'd you snag it? Then asked if he paid cash. Feeling quizzed, he said, it's a gift. Is she trolling me? Prof grinned, kinda creepy. Oh, really? Like she knew the tea. He nodded, trying not to panic. No way she's times her asterisk. Then it clicked, she's totally OP. Nejin's tough, but not beat a night tough. She giggled, chill. I'm here to chat, not loot. He stayed sus. Is this another bad prank? She grabbed his shoulder, oddly warm. Fed back hugged him, whispering, you're doing great, kid. Super sweet. His jaw dropped. Total system crash. Since when? Day 1? Is White Doe in on this? Did she off Najin, or is she just trolling me? Confused, he just asked. What's up? Sticking to the script was his only move. Had to copy Nin's voice, look, the whole vibe perfectly. Cause he was Najin now. Thought he'd fooled him, zero proof. But Fed giggled like she had the tea already. She cracked up, calling his act totally glitch free. Touching his face, she was like. The voice? The look? Chef's kiss. If you'd argued, I'd have known you were fake, she teased. So he nailed it. Nan panicked. She knew. Spoke like his cover was totally blown. Fed and chilled him out. Can't con a girl who knows the secrets, dude. Just here to drop some info, she told him. Booping his nose, she called him sloppy. Got in his face, you ain't built to be Nin, bro. Just a tip, she shrugged. She let go half sweet, half judging. Weird vibe. Waved later. Like no drama went down. Poof. Gone. Nan stood there, brain buffering, staring at air, frowning, mind racing, sweating bullets. Anxiety level, rising. What now? Cover toasted. Lucky she wasn't snitching, but her advice was sus. Not made to be. Najin kept replaying in his head. Trust her? Scary, yeah, but she didn't seem out to get him. Figured the main goal was revenge. For that? He needed a target. Next morning, bright sun and a chirpy good morning woke him up. Fetty hyped the exam. Perfect day. Y'all sleep good? One kid looked shook, another nodded fast. She stomped forward, warning that she wasn't joking. Answer me. Now. They panicked and answered, dodging a scolding. Hand shot up. Yo, urgent question here. Fedan got real. Pass, your apprentices. Fail, you might die. Pointing at him, she let the heavy reality sink in. Silence. Any doubts left? She asked, dead serious. Everyone stayed quiet, vibes super awkward. Eyes wide, she dared him. Who's quitting? Nobody budged, game faces on. Fed grinned. Time to start this crazy exam. Pointing ahead, she yelled, night exam starts. Now. Everyone gasped. New person just spawned. New night. Ludica said hi. I run the North Nights. Stoked to work with you. Fedin got salty. Don't interrupt my big moment, Ludica. Ludica sobbed, while Fedan. She snapped at him. Quit calling her a baby. The guys gossiped. Is it a fight? Najin would wreck us. Najin squinted. Wait, are they creeping on us right now, ready to jump in? The fakes were blending in. He had to spot them. A kid walked up, looking stressed. You good, Najin? Najin blinked. Huh? Do I look weird or something? He thought his act was perfect. Did he mess up? The guy shrugged. You're way too chill. It's kinda freaking me out. Najin sighed. Thanks, but that's not the issue. Asterisk, you aren't meant to be Najin. Asterisk, the word stuck on loop. Was she throwing shade from day one? Awkward silence broke when a kid waved at Fedian. Lucian piped up. So, what's on the test? Fed patted Ludica, who was sobbing like a toddler. She let go and grinned. Okay, deep breaths. Who's hyped? She asked. Two nerds nodded hard. Asterisk, ahem. Asterisk, listen up, here's my job description. I'm the referee, Fed announced. I only step in if the boss tries to murder you. You won't die. Probably. Just 3 crazy days. Asterisk crack. Asterisk. Ludica's umbrella smashed the pavement. Then she dropped the bomb. The test is defeat a knight. Instant panic mode. Who's got the guts to go first? She dared them. Fedin smirked. Warning, she's not nice like me. She got super serious for a second. Fact check, she's way stronger than I am. Her aura was terrifying. Najin just stared, stunned. Even if 10 noobs attacked at once, she'd still wipe the floor with them. Beat a knight to be a rookie? Totally insane. He realized he was screwed. He'd never pass. But Noon needed this. His bro was the golden boy. Plus, he had to prove he wasn't dead yet. Step 1 of his big revenge tour. He needed a cheat code, fast. Suddenly, Ludica teared up, looking at the sky. You're all weak sauce, she sniffed. Anyone? She glared at Najin. You taking a swing? Well, boy? He sweated. Hard pass. Night's over. Fedin yelled. The sky glowed purple. They zombie walked home, totally fried. Everyone was shook after that nightmare. One student posed center stage like a main character. Lugian spun around, hair flipping like a model, looking super serious. Nin and a buddy watched, leaning in like it was hot gossip. Lugian and Najin had a staring contest. Major tension. Lugian got in his face. Bro, you just watching? Do something. Najin looked away, totally poker-faced. Whatever. Lugian glared, clearly salty and locked in. Suddenly, Nin's eyes went full red LED mode. Lugian asked, so genius, found Ludica's weak spot yet? Najin blinked. Wait, I'm a genius? They call you the ace, but we gotta sneak attack to win. Let's jump her when she's napping or zoning out. Fidian raised a finger, grinning like he knew a secret. Najin figured with 3 days, loopholes were fair game. Tai gasped. Dude, are you for real? Tai whined. We're knights. No cheap shots allowed. Another kid nodded. Yeah, fair fight or nothing. Najin just stood there, eyes shut, ghosting them. Sweating, Lugian said, teamwork makes the dream work, guys. Day 2. Ludica stood like a boss battle while the squad crept up. Right then, Lugian eyed Tur, who gave a tiny nod. Game on. Boom. Everyone stomped, ready to rumble. Ludica smirked, and the students rushed her head on. One kid tried dodging her umbrella swipe. Keyword, tried. His eyes bugged out. Bam. He got yeeted backward hard. Ludica strolled past the wreckage. Lujin watched, seething. He clenched a fist. Oh, it's on. He threw a haymaker. Ludica blocked with the handle. Boop. She spun, blasting energy everywhere. Flashy. Lugian hurt, but pushed on. Plan, hit hard. Very hard. Stop the umbrella? No, force her to use it. Circle her, he yelled. The squad actually listened. Ludica braced herself for the triple threat. She eyed them. What are these brats plotting? She shrugged. Whatever, they're just kids. She popped the umbrella at Tai, then snapped it. He face planted. Lugian screamed the signal. Tai's eyes went wide. He snatched the umbrella tip. Gotcha. The force dragged him. Teacher was like, huh? Come on, Najin, she taunted, falling for it. She glanced back. Thought he was away from keyboard. She tossed the weapon. It opened mid-air. Whoops. She found it cute. Then froze. Wait. A trap? Just bait. The real threat, Lugian, was right behind her. He prepped. She stayed statue still. Eyes popped. She read his moves like a cheap comic. Got emotional. A tear slipped. Tryhard mode just wasn't gonna cut it. Whoa. Plot twist. Mind blown. 4 kids shook. The pros knew that stare meant game over. Lozan froze up, gasping like a fish out of water. His face screamed, help. Too much pressure. Ludica's hair flipped. Her look said, really, bro? Some just shivered, but she was shook. Noonan didn't flinch. Went dark mode. Time for a vibe check. She grinned. Bam. Prof Fatten popped up, grinning like a loon. Fedena grabbed her. Chill, girl. Show's over. Big sigh. She bailed. Day 2? Done and dusted. Kids were splattered all over the busted floor. Lucian hit the dirt, raging. Others stared, totally wrecked. Ninjin piped up. Yo, I think I cracked the code. Spun around. Guys, I know how to cheese this boss. Lucian gasped. How? Nanjin shut him up. Shh, spoilers. Can't spill deets, but trust me, we get the dub. Double down. Plan is solid gold, fam. Day 3, boss fight time. Squad rolled up. Fedden sat, grinning. Last round, you noobs ready? Najin raised a hand. Hold up, quick question? Ludaka rolled eyes. Fine, spill, he explained the logic. Objective, beat the knight. Ludica smirked. Who's dying first? Fian smirked back. Point is, you're going down. Najin thought, winning ain't always brawling, though. Ludica perked up, giving him the side eye. Oh, Nejin, it tests strength, not just punching power. She gave a weird look. Brain gears started turning. Still, the squad decided to throw hands anyway. Ludica and Fedene watched. Okay, they got guts. Phaeton blinked. What's the play? Ludica's already salty. Some folks buff up when they rage, Ludica muttered. Others just crash if they lose their cool, she added. Click. Ludica totally figured out their scheme. You really think you can 1v1 me? She scoffed. Ice cold vibes. Lucian yelled, don't freeze up, guys. Ludica crept up, brandishing that pointy umbrella. Zoom. She flew at them. Kids panicked and blocked. Then she twirled that brolly like a weapon of mass destruction. They watched, sweating. Whoosh. She chucked it. OP move. Bowling pins down. One kid went airborne. Yeet. One dude turtled up, eyes squeezed shut tight. Blinked and she vanished. Bam. She tagged Lugian perfectly. Shaking, he screamed, beating a beast like that? Impossible. Najin was chill. Plan still on, guys. 2 students gasped. Same strat? You for real? Najin eyed him. It's to mess up her rhythm. He said Lozan's skill already kicked in. Simple goal, let Lozan land 1 hit. Lozan gripped his sword. She's snoozing, so it'll work. Ludica glared. Lozan got instant chills. Tyre warned, her look freezes you. That's the trap. 1 second decides the whole fight, he said. Muscles and guts won't fix that gap, he added. Boom. A hit to the chest sent Lozan flying. Ludica just stared him down. Her eyes locked on. The kid was sweating buckets. Her eyes blazed. Nan just prepped his mouth. Zero fear, he zoomed straight at her. Closing in, he bragged, your stare? The zilch. He marched up, ready to throw hands. She recalled his ego. Dude's tripping, she thought. She grabbed her umbrella. Time to nuke the kid. A kill shot for Nan, but Najin could take it. Last second, someone grabbed the weapon, stopped. Shocked her, Najin times was times Nan. Whoa. Fedden stepped in, catching the umbrella. No killing kids, she said. Inside, felt played. She realized stopping the Attack actually boosted the weakling's odds. Najin gritted teeth. Phaeton watched, super serious. Ludica stayed laser focused. She marched with her spear, talking to the teach. Back off, she raged. Phaeton blasted energy. Didn't flinch. She just glowed with power. She pushed, Ludica backed up. Najin watched. Wanted to test him. Boom, attack at Najin, he gasped. Still, Ludica kept her eyes locked. Focusing hard, she swatted Phaeton's blast away. Teacher hit the dirt, hard. Ludica kept running, asking, why bother? Staring, she asked, you challenging me? Phaeton paused, brain buffering. Scratched her head. Glanced at Najin. Zip it. Smirking, she said, it's a secret. Mad now, Ludica glared at the teach. Can't say, Phaeton shrugged, fight them, fight me. But chill, she added. It's just a test. She wrapped up her spiel, looking totally dead serious. Reaching out, she told Ludica to just take the L. Shook, she asked how she lost to those total noobs. Fed grinned like a troll. Ludica scoffed, yeah, right. Teach kept pushing, but Lucien was like, don't poke the bear. Ludica ground her teeth, fuming. Fed backed off fast, Lucien cringed. Ludica looked crushed. Teach sighed at the drama. Lucien just stared, confused. Whimpering. Ludica whined about everyone holding her back. I hate you, she screamed. Teach was just like, you got this. 30 mins later? She's grinning. Good job, y'all passed. The class went nuts, totally hyped and shocked. She asked the newbies for a vibe check. Najin stayed quiet. Honestly. Same old me, he shrugged. Ludica tutted. Knights need swag and dignity, kid. Training will fix you. She yelled at the chicks to answer up. Every kid suddenly put on their game face. They shouted back, pumped. Then, feet started moving. A hand gripped the hilt. Nan drew and swung the blade fast. A massive slash cut the air. He didn't blink, eyes locked on. His palm buzzed with the impact. Riding that high, he smashed his blade against a tree. Looking at the stumps, he wondered why he wasn't on Nan's level. Ludica quizzed a kid. The 274th? Nope. You're the second special class. She dropped the bomb. Apparently, they cooked up a new system for elite newbies. And get this straight to the Knights platoon for everyone. Fed chimed in, you'll probably die, though. But Ludica just pointed out how weak and unarmed they were. Then she set the mission, hunt me down. You got 1 month, she warned. Go find a weapon, stat. Nan thought to himself, way ahead of you. But then it hit him he'd been slacking off. He needed to level up. 2 weeks later? Wheezing like crazy. Staring at the tree, he realized he was stuck. Zero progress. 10 years back, pre-fire, Najin was the squishy one. One night, a bad cough hit, someone was ill. He was bedridden. His bro thought he was a goner. Seeing him that sick made Nan swear to protect him for life. Najin finally bounced back. He glanced over, spotting something. Red eyes locked in. Najin blurred into motion, leaving dust. He vanished into the stumps, moving like a total pro. In a blink, his bro had totally leveled up. He asked if Najin was good now cause he clearly didn't need saving. That sparked a thought, maybe he could get as swole as his twin. Yeah, that was a total flop. Zero progress. Just a beat up tree and his own bruised ego to show for it. Was leveling up even possible for a noob like him? Did he lack skills? Spoiler alert, big yes. Nijun was built different, a rare cheat code of a human born once a century. 9. Total NPC energy. Wheezing, sword in hand, he dug for Najin's old advice. Keep it real, bro had said. But hitting trees ain't reality. Next up, a wall so huge it basically mocked him. Trial by fire, right? Or trial by faceplant. Shaky hands met rock. He gulped and squeezed tight, clawed his way up, gasped, then. Nope. Gravity 1. Collapsed in a ball, lungs burning. Pathetic. How was everyone else so cracked at this? Even the background characters were outshining him. Lozen was a beast. What was his secret sauce? Noticed Lozen ghosted everyone on Mondays. Sus. Decided to stalk him. Lozen paused, spidey senses tingling. Dead silence ahead. Creepy. Did the guy have radar or something? Better hustle before he gets spotted. He moved zoom. Lozen vanished like a glitch. Jaw dropped. That speed was illegal. Chasing him was a cardio nightmare. Shaking, he hid behind a tree. Maybe climbing wasn't the play. Lozen struck a pose by a waterfall, sword out. Checking his gear? Nope, he swung. Fast. Eyes popped. He was actually using that thing. Swish. A perfect horizontal slash. Dude cut the waterfall. Literal water. I can't even. Walked off salty. That trick wouldn't help a scrub like him. Just how hardcore was Lozen's grind? Stumbled into a canyon. Found dudes in hoodies. One creeper locked eyes with him. Uh-oh. Froze up, blinked, what was even happening? The hoodies looked just as confused. Asked if they tailed him. Wait, did they say? Hippo? Shaking. Fight? With what? Forgot his sword. Genius. Hood guy glared. Nowhere to run. Sensed someone in the rocks. Stayed quiet. Think. Eyes wide. Total panic mode activated. Freaking out. Should he drop his name? Snapped out of it and screamed Noonan for no reason. Diamond Mask guy asked, "You eavesdropping, kid?" Boss Bandit had to hold his buddy back. Negan's brain went full glitch mode. Except one vibe. They looked shook too. He peeped the hoodie crew's vibe. Spied the confusion. Diamond Mask's Q spilled the tea. Gulp. Boom. Crazy idea just popped up. Hoodie squad went silent. Totally sus. Faked a cool smirk. Hoodie guy totally flinched. Then whoosh. Someone bolted fast. Boss Bandit told his bro to chill. Hoodie tried to jump Nen, but Boss was like nope. Boss smelled a rat. Dude's got mad instincts. No proof, just major bad vibes. It was a setup. Had to trust the gut feeling. Total fake out. Negan hoped Boss took the bait. Played cool. Hinted. Trapped silently. Leveled up hard. Sweating buckets but stared fierce. Ludika said, "Get gear." He felt clutch. Fist tight. "I'm packing my own heat," he claimed. Realized his big brain was the true weapon. Looked up. Was like, "This right here's my gear." Prof was right. Just be you. Nan zoomed off fast. Wham. Invisible force slammed him flat. Slid forward, eyes lit. Caught already? No shot. Lozen rolled up, yelling all worried. "Yo, you okay? Why are you even here?" Phew. Lozen. Wait. SUS vibes kicked in. Eyes popped. Hold up, let's rethink. Is Lozen the mask guy? Nah, can't be. Lozen asked about Nin. Then, Najin, you, ready to ask. Brain buffering on what to say. Lugian crashed in, wheezing, "We're toast." Yelled that Fox Ludica ghosted them. They swapped. Ha, looks. What happened? Village view, dead silent, crickets. Prof got sassy, y'all bought that month limit? Loon and the squad were totally shook. Ludica, track me. Lugian raged at Prof about the time. Lugian grumbled, fists tight. Super salty. Tyre said bounce. Lugian, grab gear first. Prof was like, got your weapons? She smiled. Sharpen those toys up. Nin stared hard. Then nodded like bet. Prof smirked like she knew. Ready to roll? The squad got geared up. Nan's heart pounded, eyes locked. Mask guy, you good? Another asked, shouldn't we chase him? One dude threw a hand up, I'll handle this mess. Silence. Then one guy goes, what's done is done. He looked around. We all good to go? Squad geared up. Let's bounce, someone yelled. Lawson pointed. Yo, found the Knight's Trail here. Legend. They hyped him, heading toward the village. Watch the tracks. Stay sharp, a student said. Nagin just watched, totally silent, before asking, you buy that? Lugian looked so lost. Did she mess up? His buddy was like, yup. Najin frowned. Are knights really that sloppy? Lugian groaned. Tracks are there. What's your deal? Neen sighed. Might be the only clue we get. One kid blinked. Bro, why the heavy sigh? Nin asked, on purpose? The gang just froze. He turned to Elzen. So, what's up with the clues? It's a sign. Lugian raged. Is this a joke? Never said there wouldn't be one. He shot back. Best play? Figure the end goal from clue 1. The students just looked at each other. Blank. Lozen poked the map. Clues east of the village. Tyre asked, y'all remember when we first saw her? Ludica's face popped into everyone's heads. If she got north, he said, south and east exist. Lozen nodded. So the target's the continent center. Najin raised a brow. You mean the capital? Capital's Night Central, he explained like a pro. Moon up, fire crackling. The gang huddled close. Lugian whined, I'm dead. Lozen said, we're moving. Then he asked Najin, think we're beating Ludica? He paused. Let's spill our weapon stats. He grinned. Helps us bond and not die if things get weird. Lozen and another classmate were like, sure. He flashed Libra, his sword. Resists my moves. Loose flexed twin axes that literally spat sparks. Tyre held a dagger glowing with straight sunlight. Lucian unveiled a lightning sword. Sharpest ever. He poked Najin. And yours? Najin looked away. Finally, he mumbled, Gotta say something first. Voice steady, he dropped the bomb. I'm weak. Can't be my old self. They stared, jaws dropped. This is my fate, he said. Can't even fight. Every pair of eyes locked on him, totally confused. Figured it out during the exam, he admitted. Freezing up, he played the loser. Inside, asterisk, nailed it, asterisk. Lawson played the nice guy, asking if life was treating him rough. Honestly? Chances were high he couldn't fight at all. Real talk? It was all bait. Elzen looked freaked. Luzon looked away, thinking hard. Over there, Tai watched the sky, sweating bullets. Grimy face Luz zoned out, fire popped, Najin got guard duty. Told him to wake him as soon as possible if things got weird. Overhead, stars kept doing their thing. Najin dipped, walking past the fire into the dark. Crunching footsteps, then a voice grilled him. Said he was water scouting, almost snapped back, but stopped. Then he heard, "Yo, are you Nan?" He smirked, eyes glowing a creepy red. Flashback to his, "I'm too weak to fight" sob story. Even so, you can't trash a guy who lost his fam. But if they knew the real T? Game over. His words would just prove he was the survivor. Hence the bait trap for Diamond Mask. Then Najin saw who bit, staring right at him. It was Luce. They froze in the woods. Just an awkward, silent staring contest. Najin gauged distance, wondering if he was the mask. Guy stood still. Najin locked eyes. "You think I'm Nan?" Glaring, he asked if the guy was trying to tick him off. Luce jumped. "Thought you were Nin, but Nan acts that salty." Najin figured this would be messy. "You sure?" Luce fiddled with something. "Whatever, you're weak. Pulled a weapon. I'm here to end you." Najin smirked. "And how you planning that?" He moved fast, but then bam, eyes popped wide. Luce actually lunged and tagged him. Najin clutched his arm, clocking the trick. Coldly, Luce said, "I ain't the only special one." Axe in hand, he asked if Najin spilled the beans. Shocked, Najin asked, "You mean that old stuff?" Cue flashback, masked dudes talking hippos. He got serious, then grinned. Figured out two things. Dark grin. That info was actually huge. Luce started shaking, realizing Najin knew. So he yelled it again, he wasn't the only freak. Najin realized, Luce had zero clue who he was. He pressed his lips together tight. Finally, one word, ashes. Reminded him of the flame talk. Even then, the kid kept a straight face. Then he heard the guy admit he messed up big time. Bro was like, "Nah, that ain't ash, those are straight up embers." Getting big mad, he swore he'd keep roasting everything until it was total toast. Luce just laughed in his face, like, "You really gonna do that? With what army?" Guy didn't even clap back, just stood there clutching his arm in silence. Luce side-eyed him hard. Then Nan squared up while the other dude gripped his axes tight. Out of nowhere, a massive spark lit up the ground like fireworks. Right then, Nin charged in like a maniac while Luke just chilled there. Axe Guy was shook by the speed. He started screaming for Lozan, Luzian, and Tai to help. He zoomed in fast, totally freaking the students out. Lozan and the crew were clueless, asking, "Yo, what is even happening right now?" Luce jumps into the crowd, raging hard, screaming, "It's Nayen, you idiots." Losing it, he yelled at everyone that they were getting played big time. Screeching, he was like, "That ain't a Jin, it's Nin. Wake up." He kept going, pointing a shaky finger at the guy in the middle of the squad. The students looked super confused. Then Luce let out this weird, creepy laugh. Nenjin shouted, "Yo, cut it out, stop right now." Looking all sad, he said he tried to get why they were so confused. Fist clenched, he muttered, "My bad, shouldn't have done that." Luce looked lost again. Still pointing fingers though. Lozan and the gang looked completely shooketh. You know how it is, girls just have that intuition. It's real. It's like a sixth sense for spotting shady vibes before they happen. Lu Jian got furious and was like, "Luke, the absolute nerve of you." He acted surprised. "You buying this?" But Negan's poker face was messing with their heads. Suddenly, Luce's eyes went wide, total lightbulb moment. Nadian's secret weapon wasn't just lying to people's faces. It was gaslighting everyone into trusting him. Najin kept a straight face. It made zero sense, so the students whispered while Luce looked dizzy. A few of them hit up Najin pretty quick, asking, "Bro, you good? Did you get hurt?" The boy looked shocked, asking, "You really Najin?" Mask Girl was like, "Nah, that's Nan for sure." But someone else remembered the old drama, saying, "Didn't he die?" While another was like, "We never confirmed it, though. No body, no crime." One girl asked her friend, "What's the tea? What do you think?" The friend stayed quiet, just thinking hard about the whole mess. Then the kid's face popped into her head. Mask Lady finally admitted, okay, looks wise. Definitely Najin. The whole squad went quiet in the woods. Just awkward silence. Someone piped up, thought you said you could tell them apart? She was like, yeah, but now I'm tripping. Not sure anymore. She wondered, do we trust last week's gossip or what's happening now? She tried explaining, Negan could be cosplaying as Najin, you know? But she stressed, we can't be 100% sure he's Fireboy. So she was like, too risky to make a move with those knights lurking around. Vibes were tense, but the forest was still chill and peaceful. Najin looked shocked, eyes glowing up. Then he bailed, walking off into the woods. Just then, someone spotted movement. Loose froze, total system crash. Then a dude yelled, yo, you deaf? Cue the dramatic stare down. Nan sensed Diamond Mask creeping close. Nin dared Loose, mask off or step up, coward. Someone else screamed, spill the tea. Loose paused, debating a fake out. How to explain the whole murder attempt thing. He realized he'd lost. Total confusing L. He side-eyed the exit, looking for an out. Najin chilled nearby, watching the drama. Surprise axe attack. Lozen blocked it while Najin grabbed popcorn. Axe guy looked super annoyed. He spun the axe, but Tai asked, you sure, bro? Luzian blinked. Whoa, too fast. Tyre kept his eyes peeled. Lozen stepped up. I don't hold back. Sword up, Najin riding shotgun. You want this? It's to the death, he glared. The guy just stared, thinking hard. He shrugged and pulled a knife. Silence fell. Tai figured this was his moment. Peace out, he told the squad. Flash. Najin woke up, eyes glowing creepy red. They spotted a sword stuck in the dirt. It wobbled. Then, a hand snatched it. The blondie gripped it tight. They chatted, then three ditched him to follow the knight. Nancy hith, vibe killed, but I did the quiet. Silence. Then Lujin shouted his name. You good? She asked. He nodded. She looked stressed. She hyped him up, to stay strong, then zoomed off. Najin thought about Lucian's crew. Only together for class. In that squad, one dude bullied him. Tur just watched like a creep. Lujian acted like a hater, but wasn't evil. He got it now. The fire 10 years back killed her dad. So he stared at her silently. Nan felt guilty about failing to save him. Suddenly, a red dot blipped on the east coast. Waves crashed on the sand. A boat popped up. Someone walked out. Boom, a mystery goth appeared. Then that nasty funk hit her thick and metallic, drifting over the gloomy, rock-filled wasteland. The squad leader said to hunt for clues before we dipped. Said we gotta be fast. 1 hour limit, scream if you're dying. Then Lucian dropped a bombshell, find a clue, skip the night shift. Boom, everyone vanished, leaving him in the dust. He scanned the zone, acting all pro detective. Strolled over the rocks, checking out the vibes. Slowed his roll, found a cozy rock, and chilled out. Figured he could nap for the full hour. Stoke the bandit was Luke's dude had zero fans anyway. He remembered the crew hanging with Luce. Maybe the drama didn't stop with that guy. But nah, he didn't want to believe that vibe. Recalled some hoodies saying he blocked the hit. More bandits? Maybe. But his real issue was his own skills. Realized, Luce was OP, and he was totally underleveled. He'd gained XP, sure, but the gap was still huge. For him, it was the speed. He couldn't track their moves at all. Gotta bridge that power gap as soon as possible. Still, if his math was right, he could stall him. Elsewhere, Luce was sprinting and wheezing hard. Reached the spot, halted, and caught his breath. Mission failed, but he snagged some key intel. Out of nowhere, a shadow peeked from a tree. Masked dude slid out, demanding the full scoop. Sure it's Nan? He asked. Yeah, his words proved it. Mask guy nodded. Makes total sense. Suggested they delete him right now. Can't, the figure said. Not with that other guy there. Asked who, but figured Negan wouldn't get the plan anyway. So they decided to save him for the sequel. Nan figured with this free time, he needed gains. Realized the knights would tank for him while he leveled up. Then a kid cheered about being first, then freaked seeing him there. Nin told everyone to spill what they found. Law reported zero loot found. Loon yelled objection, but Nan said save the drama. She insisted, salty about him being the boss. Elzen backed him up, he's the strongest and smartest here. Lujin couldn't argue, and Tyre threatened to sleep if they didn't zip it. Nan was like, it's chill. Lou's right, she should run the squad. Student agreed, but looked totally salty. Asked Lou for intel, she got zilch. Other kid grumbled about Najin bossing. Nin-eyed Tai, you find anything? Confirmed fast, village nearby. Dude was shook Najin knew already. Let's bounce there. She nodded. Kid grumbled. The crew's kicks hit dust. Reached a silent, dead town. Lu asked, is this a village? Wrecked. When did this happen? Najin said split up, search in pairs. Paired with Lu. Lawson dipped, later. They spread. House full of arrows there. Axe stuck in a door, super creepy. Lu asked, anyone alive in this dump? Heard a rustle. Eyes wide. Jump scare. Najin and Lu exchanged intense looks. Pink-haired girl in rags cried, help. Stumbled. Lu caught her, you okay? He noted the attack looked fresh. He raged, who? She gasped, save us. Lu's eyes wide, promised to help. Glanced at Najin while holding the girl. Lu pointed, hyped, clue. Serious looks. Lozan and Lu walked up, Najin waited. Asked the girl to spill the tea. She said the clue was super. Fresh. Run fast, might catch him. He seemed to vibe with that. Looked back, you good now? We were chill, then attacked days ago. Lu got heated, who? What they want? She shook, admitting, no clue. What they look like? Masks? Najin asked. Eyed her closely, thinking deep. No masks, covered faces. Weird weapons. Tai asked if she'd seen a blue-haired umbrella guy. Nope, never saw him, she said. Knew they were rookies. Plelzat help. Listened close. This was getting real. Tai was like, let's help her out. Lucian wasn't having it, claiming this was their one shot to snag Lady Fox. But Tyre went full hero mode, saying apprentices can't just ghost people in trouble. Laws nodded but kept it real, we're basically newbies with zero muscle. Plus, whoever wrecked the place wasn't messing around, total pros. Lucian admitted they were weak sauce but figured catching Fox fixed everything. Right after that, Lozan and the rest. Lucian poked Najin for being mute. They yelled over since he was totally zoning out. Finally snapping out of it, Najin hit them with a serious what if. Like, what happens if we totally whiff on finding Lady Fox? The trio blinked, remembering the fresh clue. But Najin wasn't done grilling them. He got super serious. What if the village attackers are stronger than a literal knight? He pointed out the clues screamed a knight had already breezed through. Tyre didn't flinch, swearing he'd throw hands anyway. Didn't matter how buff the baddies were, he claimed helping was non-negotiable. He'd rather die trying than be some coward knight who bails when things get tough. Najin and Lozan just stared, watching him stand there looking all noble. Elzen shrugged and decided he'd stick to hunting down Lady Fox. Lucienne, sweating bullets and stuttering, mumbled she was tagging along with him. Tyre asked Najin's plan. Najin just gave his buddies a silent, intense death stare. After chewing over the absolute best move, he announced he was actually going to do something about it. Within seconds, he started shuffling his feet, ready to roll. Right then, the girl mentioned a massive cave halfway up the mountain. So the kid reached the mouth of the cave and asked, this the spot? Looking totally freaked out, he asked if they were actually gonna do this. Najin just whipped out his sword, eyeing him with pure grit. He chilly said proceeding was fine. Tai watched him, deep in thought. Finally, he caved and agreed to roll with the plan. Both dudes stepped into the cave, vanishing into the spooky darkness. Out of nowhere, a huge boom rocked the outside world. The blast violently yeeted a massive smoke cloud across the forest. Up in a tree, the girl sighed. Only two idiots fell for her trap. Disappointed, she just watched the chaos from her branch. Meanwhile, inside the cave? Absolutely ginormous. They kept walking, noticing it was massive and weirdly quiet. Tyre's spidey senses tingled. Way back, some creepy figure was sitting there. He threw up a Shiech sign and pointed at the mystery dude. They stared at the masked guy, basically wondering, what is that thing? Ty's eyes went wide, totally shook. Needon's red eyes popped open in surprise, followed by a lightning-fast attack. Ty instantly clapped back with a hit that sent shockwaves flying. Same second, the masked creep materialized right behind the kid. Ty rallied with sword-wielding Najin as the guy asked, intruders or guests? Najin suddenly realized this wasn't the bandit they were hunting. The dude turned around just as Tyre shouted out, calling out the name of his peeping Tom buddy. Real talk, he said, we're cooked cause this guy's night strong. Masked guy just watched, totally entertained by our freak out. Ty poked Nin, use that big brain. We need a strat. Wheezing, he goes, plan A, don't die, just survive. Masked dude leans in, asking about the night. We froze. He holds up this thing. You looking for Rosewood Fox? Needon's eyes popped. That umbrella. Ty was right. Lucian panicked. We gotta find Lady Fox, like, yesterday. She was flipping out, saying they didn't know if they'd get another shot. Ty nodded, super serious. They locked in. Ty goes, okay, split squad. 2 find Fox, 2 help the village. Go. Lawson promised to save her. Don't 1v1 him, okay? But Ty was just like, chill, No worries. We got this. Inside though? He knew this dude was a total beast. Masked guy gripped the umbrella, smiling like a total creep. Lu Jian glanced back, looking totally stressed out. Lozan asked what's up. Think they're gonna make it? She asked. She stared at that sketchy cave entrance way off. That dark hole looked straight up haunted. Inside, the three-way brawl was already going down. Bandage face squeezed that umbrella handle tight. Tai gripped his gear. Did you do it? Someone yelled. Najin shouted. You hurt those villagers, didn't you? Guy didn't blink. Yup. What you gonna do about it? Nan knew it. Okay, gotta stall for time. He thought fast. Just him and Tai versus that thing. Then it hit him. Tai's weapon had one major light blast left. He scanned the room. Okay, I got the play. Masked guy clenched the umbrella tighter. Nin screamed, incoming. Tai, block it. He knocked the umbrella up, dodging a face shot. Bam. Guy was right there, ready to swing. He didn't flinch though. Locked in, masked dude spun, tossing him like a ragdoll, so fast. He flew past Najin and smacked the wall hard. Tai groaned but stood up. I ain't done yet. Najin's eyes glowed red. Tai, heads up. Enemy stomped, shaking the whole ground. He prepped his sword and zoomed at them. Zero chill. Tai braced for impact as dust flew everywhere. Nin looked terrified. No way, bro. He realized if Tai got KO'd, they were totally screwed. Zero chance. So Masked Face decided to stop lurking and handle business himself. Nejin and Tai linked up, popping a skill to sync their moves perfectly. A sudden flash lit up the dark. Did he pass out? Someone called. Nejin spotted Tai still standing. Phew, you're good, he sighed. Tai shouted at Jin, trying to snap him out of it. You alive, bro? Barely managed a nod. Yeah, I'm good. Turning to Tai, eye blazing like a laser, he asked, you used the skill? Had to. Tai shrugged. You were snoozing, needed to cover your back. Najin went numb. Without your gear, we're toast, he mumbled. His eyes went huge. It hit him, we've got no shot at winning. Vision cleared as Masked Guy roasted them. But he knew, no opening to attack, even if he tried. Masked Guy smirked. Don't sweat it, kiddos. You never stood a chance, he finished, throwing a massive punch. Nan clenched his weapon, bracing for impact. Tai looked hopeless. Is this really it? Game over? Nin panicked. Are we actually gonna lose here? Boom. A slash hit the masked dude out of nowhere. He jumped back. They looked up, totally shook by the save. A dagger zoomed past. Lu Jian snagged it midair. My bad, late arrival. We had to pull up, he said. Even if we lose Lady Fall. Someone whispered, gotta save the squad. Lucian shrugged. Couldn't just ditch you guys. Najin and Terror grilled each other and grinned. He shut his eyes, vibing with the relief. The whole crew linked up with Terror. I'm good, fam, he nodded. Masked Guy moved, kicking up a massive dust cloud. Nin caught his breath. Time to show this clown what we got. Bandage Guy just stood there, menacingly still. Najin and the gang glared back, deadly serious. The creep stared back, eyes glowing like headlights. He shifted stance, and the floor literally cracked. Najin bugged out. Dust puffed up, the guy was gone. Incoming, he yelled. Lucian, block that. She jumped up, parrying the hit with her blade. But the hit was heavy, leaving her totally dazed. Stay sharp, Najin warned. This guy hits like a truck. She gaped at her buddy, shocked by the sheer power. Couldn't see the move, but he felt the vibes. Just as he thought. Eyes were useless, but he sensed the shift in weight. Attack incoming. Yo Tai, you good? Tai grinned. Strong as ever, bro. Najin got in his face. Cut the act, be real. Tyre paused, looking serious. Fine, he admitted. I'm cooked. Can't even move. Nin yelled for Lozan. Masked Guy raised his blade, ready to slice. He called it, Ty's wrecked, and the squad pushed on solo. Lu and Lozan nodded. A rock cracked near Masked Guy. Gravity kicked in. Psych. It just hovered there. Creepy. Then smash. Hoodie waved as the duo rushed him. Simultaneously, he swiped his arm, dodging hard. Spotted the pincer attack. Masked dude clicked. Ah, the old circle trap. Nin blocked the front, sealing the deal. Hoodie twitched fast, ready to rumble. Said he just needed to drop the boss. Tai blinked in behind. Najin yelled, focus. Boom. He tagged the hooded guy. Hit so hard Hoodie's sword got roof stuck. Trap tight, need a blind spot aerial ambush. Lu and Lozan swept in low. Ankle biters. Smirking, Hoodie countered. That's the plan? Then he absolutely yeeted the kid. Gut punched Lu. Lights out, she's done. Ditched her as she dropped. Gone in a blink. Lozen gaped. Too late, Hoodie was behind him. Tried a panic block against the blitz. Nope. Got smacked down to the floor. Hoodie looked up. You're the last snack left. Nobody leaves without fibbing, he teased. Listed tells, fast pulse, quiet voice, jitters. Sharp eyes catch that stuff, he added. But Nagan? Zero signs. You trolling me, kid? Said Negan was totally unreadable. Nothing. Najin shed a tear. I'm a knight, he choked. Hootie watched the waterworks, spotting the lie. Ludica sobbed too. Apparently, that's her strength. Felt a hit, wondered, am I actually buff? Realized Nan hadn't leveled up for real. High levels just fall harder for illusions. So he said they'd need to stay. Frosty clenched a fist, flicked his wrist. Najin watched, red eyes blazing like LEDs. Mummy hand guy swiped fast at Lozen. Lozen stared, green eyes popping out. Whoosh. Dark blur ripped a hole in space. Tossed into the void, Najin just stood there. Lozen stuck the landing, sword grinding dirt. Right then, Ned's red eye went supernova. Cold sweat dripped. Man, that took effort. He's practically wheezing, hacking up a lung, but refuses to take his eyes off the hoodie guy. Then he cops to it, he's totally toasted and this whole vibe is way too intense for him. Meanwhile, the bad guy just stares back, scoping him out like, you good yet, or what? Then he smirks, saying he digs the hustle, but yeah, still gotta delete them. The whole squad, Najin, Lozen, Tar, and Lujin just stand there panting, completely fried. Then Hoodie drops a bomb. Hey, ditch this and come work for me. Everyone exchanges looks like, wait, is this guy for real? Lucian pipes up immediately. Excuse me? Say what now? The guy goes, don't wanna join? Scram. I'm counting to 3. But if you're still undecided when I'm done, you're toast? Lozen's dripping sweat, eyes bugging out, total panic mode. Then the countdown kicks off. 1. Ty just stands there, leaking sweat, eyes glued to the floor. Najin's thinking, is this actually happening? Realizing they're totally cornered with zero options. That's when Lucian, voice totally trembling, admits they're stuck and, well, kinda weak sauce right now. But she keeps going, telling Ty, even if we team up, we're cooked. Najin's like, whoa, are you seriously bailing on us? You can see his hand shaking like crazy on that sword hilt. Hoodie calls out, 2. Najin squints, sweat rolling down, looking absolutely tormented. While he white knuckles his blade, Lucian makes up her mind. She stands tall, insisting, we gotta scrap. It's the only way. I'm terrified of dying, yeah, but we're knight trainees, aren't we? Najin grimaces, totally rattled by the whole mess. Lucian screams at Hoodie, you want us? You gotta go through me. Najin's like, now that's the spirit. Masked dude hits 3 and lunges. Najin braces for impact, eyes shut tight. Then bam, he snaps them open, red eyes blazing with guts. Suddenly, Ludica drops from the sky, just chilling with her umbrella. She's all casual, I'm good, telling the squad they crushed it. But then drops the hammer, can't exactly let things slide like this, though. Professor Fedian just shoots her a silent, knowing grin. Ludica turns to the other lady, like, no way we can let them pass. Fedian gives her a super serious, rock hard stare in return. Ludica gets straight to the point, you trying to flatline these kids? Fedian replies, if they can't hack it, they're out. Simple. Fair enough, Ludica agrees. I'll run my own little test then. And if you don't measure up to my standards? Pack your bags. She spins back to the 4 students, like I said, nice work. Ty blinks, totally shocked, asking, wait, you okay? But then Ludica flips the script, acting super disappointed in them. Ty stares at her, head spinning from the mood whiplash. Najin's thinking, hey, our strategy wasn't half bad, actually. Still, Ludica adds, would have been cooler if you'd actually found me, though. Najin and Lujian were totally shook. Ludica spilled she'd been lurking nearby. The whole squad gasped. Big yikes. She kept roasting them. Total fail, guys. The gang just stared, blank faces on. But Ludica gave props for not rage quitting versus a boss. They were still totally clueless. Anyway, she said that's real knight vibes. Ty claimed he was all about that knight life. Ludica dug the attitude. Bonus points. So, boom. You're knight apprentices. Grats. She high-fived Lujin for having guts. She told Ty not to get too cocky. He nodded. She eyed Najin. I got questions for you. Did you smell something fishy early on? No cap, Najin was like, yep. Why didn't you spill the beans earlier? He gave her a super serious stare. Ribbons just flopped to the floor. It's Fidance. I literally couldn't breathe. The trio was baffled. Fidance just smirked. Tai gasped. A night? So this was a test? Fidance groaned. Like, Ludica dragged me into this mess. He was salty about how slow they were. Wait, are you the Perinkle wild dog? Fidance hyped it up. Yep. AMA time. Lugian cut in. Hold up, I'm still lost. What was the deal with that village raid? Knights shouldn't be that savage, right? Awkward silence. Fidance zipped his lip. Ludica got serious and called out Lugian. Najin watched, gears turning in his head. She was fishing for deets. Total trap. Had to swerve that question like a pro. Ludica heard the reply and went. Ha! Najin said. Lugian dipped on purpose. Ludica chewed on that, but, since he quit, y'all fail. Disqualified. So, when did you clock what was up? Najin listed red flags. That lady lied. But zero blood anywhere. Suspicious. Ludica stared him down. Her story about the 5 guys? Fake news. So yeah, obviously a setup. Ludica repeated the question, skeptical. Why didn't you warn the squad? Not sure, Najin mumbled. She glared. Then why tag along? He smirked. Needed to confirm my hunch. And bingo, I did. Proof? Ludica demanded. He pointed at her umbrella. We went toe to toe, remember? Plus, that thing's scratch free. Real fight? Yeah right. Knowing you, you'd have left a scar if you actually lost. That's when it clicked. The whole thing was just her twisted little test. Ludica didn't blink. Eyes like lasers. You're too calm, Najin whispered. Dead giveaway. He flashed back to the weird vibe from that villager. Total acting class. Especially Mr. Bandage Face over there. Kept quiet so the team would actually try, he said. XP grinding. Lame excuse, Ludica scoffed. Still, his brains and guts? Way above his pay grade. He stared back, cool as a cucumber. You're strong too, she noted, almost impressed. Thanks for the info, now I can drop the act. Straight up? I can't stand you. Using your friends as bait? Not cool, dude. Shady. She turned. I've got my eyes on you. 24/7. Move out, she barked at the others. Najin gulped. Asterisk bad move. Regretting this big time. Asterisk. Lucian patted his back. Chill, bro. Just a test. Outside, Fedian stretched. Finally, air that doesn't smell like feet. Zip it, Ludica snapped. Where to next? Tai asked. Hunting down special class 2, Ludica replied. We're late? Nudge gasped. Since when? Suddenly, a voice cut in. Save your energy. Up in a tree, the rival teach grinned. You guys are the slowpokes. Hurry, one yelled. Nah, slow down, another argued. Ludica watched the chaos, unimpressed. The other class stumbled in, wheezing like pugs. Lucian blinked. Wait, I know them. Green-haired girl spotted something. She sprinted at them like a missile. Najin froze. She's sonic fast. Tai yelped. She raised a hand, ready to strike. Asterisk I'm toast. Asterisk Najin thought, clueless. Asterisk is she one of those mask creeps? Asterisk. But instead of a slap, she offered a handshake? Najin. She chirped. Hia. His jaw dropped, she just beamed at him. Nan was totally lost. This vibe? Absolute trash. Palm flips up. He stared, red eyes locked tight. Zeus clocked the spikes. Black hair asked, is that the whiz kid? Then, a blue trash panda. Durang asked his pal. Him? Pal shrugged. Weak sauce? Eastern Mielk noobs showed up. Salty about losing, they grilled the 4. 2 Virgil kids piped up. Nulgin, looks wimpy. Yuli, nah, he's actually cracked. Latoon's own Pemal jumped in. Are they scrubs? Lyman shushed him. Zip it. Then a squad from Latinia crew, Whittian guy? Marka's never that nice. She just smirked. Weird face. All eyes on him? Super awk. He knew right then. Stuck, he faked swag. Who were they anyway? She kept on, mean mugging him hard. Better to act cool than fake knowing her. Mus raged, watch your mouth with her. Still, he thought, she's the top rookie. She grinned. Forgot me? And that thing? We promised to make a super baby, she blurted. He froze. Everyone gagged. Say what? One asked. Lugian got in his face, but he denied it. I didn't decide squat. He stared. No way I'd agree to that. She looked away, yellow eyes glowing. Blushing, she pressed, you remember. He cringed. I don't do drama, go solo. Then, he strutted past the whole crew. Marsha's jaw hit the floor. Lugian grabbed him. Rude. Then, oh, typical, pow. She decked him, he stumbled, heart racing, he felt Marka's glare. She snapped, hands off. Livid, she stomped away. Lucian, shaking, asked, what's her deal? They gossiped. Those two? Tight. One shrugged. Zeus dropped his title, Knight. He schooled the noobs on Knight stuff. Morons, he pointed. Zip it, someone yelled. Lucian looked shook, asking if Knights seriously need nerd theory. The teacher dared anyone who agreed to raise a hand. Her hand crept up, super shaky. He glared, do that, and you're unfit to lead. She yanked her arm down fast. Yikes. Everyone froze as he started a story about a merchant. This guy hyped a spear that pierces literally anything. Then he flexed a shield that blocks absolutely everything. Someone asked the obvious question. What happens if they clash? The merchant had zero chill response. Zeus stared at the green-haired girl. Your take? Lucian paused. Don't scam people, she guessed. Is honesty the vibe? Two jerks next to her snickered, totally mocking her. Ignoring the giggles, he asked her name. Turning red, she answered. He actually praised her. Basic, but brave. He said big weapons fail if you can't sell the idea. Muscles don't make the knight, he added. Can't lead if you can't convince the squad. Basically, your justice needs to sound legit. He turned to the snickering emo kid. Your turn. The boy stammered something about needing persuasion, then pointed to the blonde kid. Blonde kid parroted. Strength is nil without common sense. Then Z's grilled Najin for his opinion. Everyone stared. He practically glowed. He thought, then dropped, I'd pick the shield. The neighbors gave him a, what the heck? Look. The teacher leaned in. Explain that. He shrugged. If both are top tier. And same material? Shield wins. More metal. Imagine a spear hitting a shield. Clang. The class looked totally lost in the sauce. Z's grinned. New angle. I just wanted fresh takes. He wanted to hear their brainwaves, not textbook answers. True justice is thinking for yourself, fam. Then he roasted those two. For copying him and mocking Lucian's realness. Don't trash how others think, he warned. There's no single correct vibe here. Suddenly, a hand shot up. Black Hen popped up with a spear. This pierces all. JK. She laughed. Class dismissed. We need a nap. Najin blinked. Wait, what tests? Warren casually explained. Time to throw hands. Let's see your skills. Then he goes. Sounds like a total riot, right? Lucian gulped hard. Then this dude lifts a high-tech mask. The blue gem flashed bright, then went dark just as fast. He masked up and checked if his pal was set. Yup, ready. Still, he's like, who's the big bad threat here? His buddy looked lost. Wait, who exactly do you mean? He just replied, the fox. Duh. Mask guy totally flipped when he heard that name. Face dead serious. He confirmed it was really her. She stalked us since Woodian. The other guy tuned in. Then he dropped the bomb. She ain't alone. More knights inbound. And one is a total nightmare. Avoid him. Who's the scary one? He started to spill. Then Pinky yells it's time to draw straws. Lottery time. While a kid picked, another gasped. Hey, that villager girl. Ludica dropped she's knight admin. That spooked the kid. The girl, panicked hearing about 5 knights. Major oopsie. One escaped. The class was totally shook by the news. One kid stared at their straw. Red tip. Uh-oh. Lucian held hers up. Did I hit the jackpot? Same colors fight. No winners. Talk about awkward. Someone walked up. You get red? She nodded. Wadden, also red, laughed like he won. Jealousy ensued. Lucian took the hype, confused. Didn't she say nobody wins this? Ty whispered, they're mocking you. Don't go easy on him. She looked puzzled, but her blue eyes blazed hard. Now mad, she warned, I'm coming at you full force. Then the screen flashed, her versus Wadden. It's on. Next up, Quering and Nulgen. Then Najin against Yolia. After that, Ty and Marcia got paired up. Musa and Tis, get ready to rumble. Lozen versus Daragon. Then Pimmel takes on Jarun. Finally, Vel and Lyman wrap up the list. Black Hen shuffled. Alright, let the beatdowns begin. He pulled red. Smirking, Wadron called the red team up. Lucian stepped up, game face totally locked in. They squared off center stage, Black Hen watching close. Fighting empty-handed? He asked. They looked shook. Then he yelled, somebody toss them some gear. Wadron snagged his. Lucian caught hers mid-air too. Warren's advice to Wadron? Try to end her. He rushed her, catching her slipping. Clang. Metal clashed. She jumped boom, a spear right between them. Pointing at a scratch. He goes, Only knights stop this. Death match time. The rest of the class gasped, realizing this just got real. Lucian and Wadron locked eyes, game on. Warren signals the start, and they both rush in instantly. Wadron plants a boot right on her nose. Eyes popping, she skids back, dropping her sword. Grimacing, she realizes he's buff. Can she even win? Zero chill, he launches another kick. Headshot this time, then he winds up a punch. Smack. She hits the dirt and eats a body shot. Wincing hard, her face is already a mess. Fidance watches Wadron totally owning her. Bam! He slams her into the floor again. While Wadron keeps pounding, Fidance spots a glitch. Looming over her, he smirks like a total jerk. Lawson notices he's not even using his blade. Flexing much? Another kid looks away, fist clenched, totally over it. Tai snaps that he's doing it on purpose. Such a troll. Lucian realizes he's dragging this out. Tai mutters, dude's just toying with her. Red eyes lock on the scene, super intense. Fadian's worried, though she knows Lucian's tough, but admits her stats strength, speed, smarts are mid. So she told her to just keep leveling up. Bam! Another heavy hit to the mug. Eye glowing, she grips her sword. Can't lose now. Screaming, she charges in. Swinging wild, refusing to take the L. Meanwhile, Luce whines about being bored stiff. Then eyes pop, he found something spicy. Najin's just walking down the busy street. Luce schemes to troll him. Lucian whispers his name. Suddenly, a hand pops out of raging fire, someone screaming for their dad. Lucian grits her teeth at the sight. Shoving Luce, she bolts. Najin gets wrecked instantly. She gets in his face. Why'd you do it, huh? Lucian sighs, bored. Tai just watches. The guy's eyes are glowing super bright. She screams, why the fire? Why'd he have to die? Did he even do anything wrong? He just stares, cold and silent. Frustrated, he finally goes, I don't know. Lucian popped another yawn. Why ask? He'd just parrot the same excuse without explaining squat. Fuming, she snapped, so who's the scapegoat here, huh? Needin just chilled by the wall, looking totally drained. Snap back to reality, he's eyeing the scrap between her and Wadden. A bunch of students rubbernecked, glued to the drama. Musa and Marka tuned in, Marka sporting a grim poker face. Blood dripped from a hand, staining the floor in his rep. Wadron was wheezing hard, fighting for every breath. Lucian stood there, drenched and puffing, sword shaky in her grip. She gritted her teeth, looking wrecked and furious. Ludica started dipping, muttering she wanted zero part in Warren's sick games, while a kid asked why she bailed. Z's nudged Black N. Gonna step in? Haven't they proved enough? Chill, he shot back, she's hanging in there. Don't you want to see her breaking point? Zeus cut him off fast, barking that enough was enough, dead serious. Black N barely twitched. Then he chuckled softly. Wadden kept hacking, totally over it. Lucian was just as winded. She threw a hand up, gasping to catch a break. Wadron blinked, shocked she was still on her feet. Out of nowhere, a hand snatched his wrist. Black Hen gripped him tight. Match over. Wadron takes the W. They shook. He called her Lupia, so she snapped back with her actual name. Then the guy got in her face, saying, quit the night act. You're too soft. She froze when he mentioned the squad's real missions. In your condition? You'd be toast and drag us all down with you. Ain't you embarrassed chasing knighthood with those weak moves? She didn't blink. I'm doing this for me and for them. The dude just walked off. He dissed her grind, asking if Woodians were all weaklings riding Najin's fame. Lozan and Tyre got salty, saying, that was low. They knew her pride couldn't take that hit. She stumbled over to Lozan. You good? He asked. She squeezed her eyes shut for a sec. Then she laughed. I got wrecked. Win this for me, yeah? Najin stayed mute. I got a crash for a min, she mumbled. The crowd watched, thinking she handled that loss like a boss. Glow up? Najin stayed quiet but sharp. Someone twirled a stick. Next up, Yolia versus Najin. Blacken shrugged. Same rules. Show us what you got, superstar. He figured Najin was gonna fold. No way he wins without exposing his zero skills. But Warren just scoffed at the thought of him quitting. He was like, wait, say what? Kid still figured Lucian was soft, always was. Plus, she acted tough but totally choked up when stuff got real. So he feigned ignorance. She sobbed, and he just shrugged it off. Typical her. Then Yolia goes, what are you on about? Head voice kept nagging, exploit this drama since they triggered you. He figured. Negan was actually pretty ticked off. Red-eyed, he dared the noob to strike. Yolia's jaw dropped. Rest of the class stared, totally shook. Blades at his throat? Whatever. He held his ground. Teach squad rushed him, Weapons drawn. Fidance judged his ego. Then, eyes lit up. Fedon warned Ludika, watch Najin, that kid's trouble. Eyes glowing, he realized they were spot on. Fidorance also flagged the boy as a hazard. Still posed while Steele almost gave him a haircut. He just trash talked to scare him, but everyone's so touchy. But he figured, ending the brawl now wouldn't suck. Confused Nan saw one kid panicking, then fear spreading fast. Clocked 2 more students freaking out nearby. The crowd was a mix of hype, panic, and weird vibes. Total chaos took over. Everyone lost the plot. Dorigon looked totally stunned. Fidorance was impressed. Black Hen seemed intrigued. Ludika, though? She was getting heated. She grilled Najin, calling him trash, vowing to crush him if he didn't chill. Right then, his eyes lit up again. Blinked hard, opened them, and instantly chilled. Ludika raised her umbrella like a boss. Timeout. Wait. Yolia's mind drifted to that Woodian kid. Someone asked, so, what's the play? Fedorance was like, meaning? Shut it all down. Zeus said nah, no special favors, and this test builds the squad. Can't quit. Durang doubted they could stop Najin after that show. Ludika snapped back with certainty that they'd boot him. Don't need that ego here. He stayed zip-lipped. Someone yelled, own it, speak up. Black Hen chilled out and said sorry. The rookie gave him heavy flashbacks. Remembered when someone wrecked knights for trash talking. White-haired girl standing amidst debris and KO'd knights. They instantly asked, you talking about Snow White? Dare compare her to Sir Elephant? No shot. But he was like, chill, don't be so harsh. Ludika stared daggers. Next up? No weapons, just fists. Yolia was prepping to throw down. She grilled him, who's this beatdown for, anyway? Teach said, it's just a test, kid, not for anyone in particular. Focus on him or you're gonna get wrecked. She sighed, fine. He just waited for the chaos. Asterisk clang. Asterisk the ref signaled, go time. They squared up, ready to rumble. Unlike Wadron, she hesitated. Total nerves. She panted, thinking his open guard was a trap. The class watched, eating it up. She got serious. He juked left, fast. Asterisk boom, asterisk Yolia's kick smashed the floor. He winced. Okay, she hits like a truck. She looked up, totally baffled. He made a fist. Saw that coming, he teased. No supervision needed to spot that tell. Too slow to dodge, so he just braced. For the hit. Hurts less when you expect it. Thanks, loose. Builds character, he'd smirk. Then she threw a lightning jab. Asterisk wham, asterisk, right in the kisser. Still hurt like crazy, but he kept his poker face. She freaked. Why was he so chill after taking those hits? What's his game? Even the ref thought this style was sus. She was swinging, but he was running the show. Staring contest time. She looked totally lost. He grinned. She was mentally cracking. Why wait? Queering asked. That was the whole point. He was playing human punching bag on purpose. The class whispered, why would he tank it? The guy's a beast. Fidance shrugged, hiding his skills. Yonia's rattled though. Huffing hard, she felt mocked. Like he was toying with her. Still, he figured a fight with no death risk? Perfect time to experiment. Her face confirmed his read was dead on. This empathy stuff was way different. From fast eyes, he sensed her panic. Being an empath is a total cheat code. Most see basic vibes. He felt the whole playlist. He got that tingling vibe like, okay, incoming beatdown in 3, 2. He could totally read the energy, catching even the tiniest twitch of a foot. Saw the punch coming and knew it'd sting, but his body just lagged. Yeah, no dodging that. Still, anticipating the hit helps a little, though it still sucked big time. His body just tensed up on autopilot. A surprise hit, though? That would've doubled the pain. Perfect chance to test his spicy new combo. Najin and Yolier squared up while the rest of the class gawked. Being the underdog, he tried creeping in slow for a cheap shot. She flinched, jumping back. Super fast. He grinned totally got inside her head. His superpower was reading cues, not just faces. Opens up options. She looked ready to get smacked. Panic flashed in her eyes as she threw up an X block. Yet she stood there, quiet as a mouse, totally frozen. She peeked. Bam. He lunged in, pushing deep. Bullseye. Smacked right into her. Lozen, Tur, and some rando watched, sweating bullets. The rest of the peanut gallery looked stressed out too. Even the kids in the back were cringe watching hard. Lyman and his buddy were glued to the action, dead serious. Nan looked lost in the sauce but tried to keep a poker face. Zoom in, hand mashed right into the tummy zone. Oof. But she looked puzzled cause that hit felt weak. Like, was that supposed to hurt? Whoosh. She zipped back, staying upright while he stared her down. She mulled over that weird noodle arm punch. Was it some secret ninja hack to scramble her guts, or was he just trolling her? Locking eyes, she decided to quit guessing and get answers. He saw her vibe shift. Uh-oh, she's actually trying now. She huffed a big breath, looking kinda gassed. Time to bust out the galaxy-style moves. It's go time. Death stare activated. She was about to bring the thunder. Sweating buckets, he knew a nuke was coming. How to dodge? Then, his jaw basically dropped. Next thing, he's floored and she's yelling, "Get up." Lozen ran over. "Yo, you alive? What's the verdict?" Yulia called game. "That's a wrap. Don't get cocky next time, scrub. I ain't some pushover you can toy with," she snapped. "Galaxy style, baby, respect it, you're fixed." "Let's bounce," she said, strutting off. Nijin whined about stuck-up nobles. Lucian was like, "Good game bro, you'd have won at 100%. Then she shot him a glare while some random kid smirked like a total troll. Turisan was super bummed, apologizing for basically ruining his own rep. Even after Injun got wrecked, he figured this whole mess was actually a major level up moment for his bro's future fights. Someone tried teasing Yulia about chatting up a girl, but she told him to zip it or else. Nin spun around, asking, "Yo, where's Tai hiding?" Lozen just pointed a finger at the guy standing over there. Bam! A huge blast went off, meaning the brawl had definitely kicked off. Tai got yeeted into a wall instantly but kept his eyes locked on the target. Meanwhile, some dude walked up, whining like a total baby. Up ahead, Marka gripped her blade, salty she couldn't watch him throw down. Tyra wiped his face, guessing the guy was just keeping his skills on the down low. She just flashed a snarky grin, totally loving the drama. Najin watched from the back, wondering how long he'd been out cold. He asked Lawson what he missed. 2 bouts, the kid said. Tai just started, but Nan's still waiting. That, he realized he totally whiffed on seeing 4 fighters go at it. Right there, Lawson claimed Marcia was the only one who could take him down. Just then, she hoisted her sword, flexing hard for the crowd. A sec later, Tai got face planted into the wall again. Ouch. The blade slashed inches from his face before Marka stabbed the dirt and pointed at him. Tai eyed the sword, asking if she was gonna fight bare knuckle or pulling a fast one. Meanwhile, Najin and Lawson hung back while Nin bet that Tai actually had a shot at winning. His gaze sharpened, silently begging his bud to stay chill and find the winning move. Marcia just smirked, looking super full of herself. Ziz was kicking himself for missing the action, wondering where Newton vanished to. Ludica figured the guy got sloppy and way too cocky, saying he deserved the KO, though someone asked if she was being too savage. Then Fitterans chimed in, saying he messed up by underestimating the competition. Yulia just rolled her eyes, thinking he'd been way too ego-tripping, hoping the next rival would make her actually try. Tai was wheezing for air but looked ready to go another round. He stomped forward, gripped tight on his dagger, and bolted straight at her. But she was already in his face, launching an attack before he could blink. His eyes practically popped out of his head in shock. A flash blinded him, then Marcia landed a mega kick right to his gut. He went skidding across the floor like a hockey puck. Yet he popped right back up, dagger raised, staying in the zone. Out of breath, he asked, "Why fight with no hands? What's your game?" She just spun around with a confident grin, hair whipping in the wind. Nenjin saw the dude look totally lost and stuck in his own head. Tai stared at the stuck weapon, thinking it was totally a trap. The sword smashed the ground, cracking it, but then her fist came flying in. But Tai was slick and dodged the punch just in time. He moved fast, brain locked on the next combo. Dude spun like a top, but a quick side glance revealed nothing. She'd totally ghosted him. Eyes bugging out, he whipped around. Yup, she was right behind him. Totally shook, he blinked, wishing it was just a glitch in the matrix. He looked up, big mistake. She came crashing down, smashing the floor like a meteor. She stuck the superhero landing. Him? Still kissing the dirt. Cat got your tongue? She teased. Does Najin hate me or something? Tai scrambled back, defensive. Whoa, chill. I never said that. She locked eyes with him, breathing hard and dripping sweat. Intense much? Asterisk can't dodge forever, asterisk he thought. Asterisk my battery is basically dead. Asterisk. Suddenly Ned yelled, use your head, bro. You've still got the edge. Lozen just watched while Ned kept hyping him up. Remember your training. Think, man. Z stepped in, annoyed. You lost it? What you doing? Just cheering on my boy, Ned argued. But she shut him down, saying, that's coaching, not cheering, and warned him eyes were watching. Ned snapped back, maybe tell us the rules first. Where's the manual? The three of them, Lozin, Najin, and Lujin zipped it, soaking up the awkwardness. Z sighed. The kid was right, which made his headache even worse. He felt bad, even though Nian was just trying to help Tai, he totally exposed a glitch in the rules. Stop interfering, Z is ordered. The trio nodded like bobbleheads. Back in the fight, Tai realized he needed to find that essence. What was his edge? He replayed the past. Words clicked. He launched himself forward, ready to brawl. On the move, he worried. Was he overthinking this whole Najin thing? Didn't matter. He was faster. Skill means nothing if you can't hit me. Marcia stood ahead, grinning like a shark, with her sword stuck in the dirt. Tai focused. One way to end this. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk, a blur cut through the air. He charged in, determined, with everyone's eyes glued to him. Mid-sprint, it hit him. This is what winning takes, that's the secret. He braced himself, getting right in her grill. She spun out of nowhere, throwing a haymaker. She had eagle eyes, sure, but he felt it coming. His foot slid smooth. Asterisk slash, asterisk another move ripped through the air. Her eyes widened. Did this dude just get faster? Asterisk whatever, asterisk she thought. Asterisk stay focused and he's toast. Asterisk, her eyes practically glowed. She lunged. I can still see you. He looked right at her, silent, thanks, babe. His gut screamed the answer. Asterisk, speed is king. That's my edge. Asterisk. Only one play left. One way to bag the win. Her eyes gave it away. The secret? Blind her with a flash. That was it. Then Najin hit the dirt with a heavy thud. Luce grinned at him. Not bad, dude. Lujian claimed it'd buff him, but Tai just chilled in silence, looking deep in thought. Suddenly, a massive boom shook the sky. Najin hacked up a lung, hurt bad, eyes red, he stared down the horizon. Meanwhile, Tyre started spilling tea about how Negan used to get bullied. Hearing that, Najin remembered he was basically part of the furniture back then. But he never stepped in, just watched. He had this whole philosophy. Figured that's just how the cookie crumbles. Violence wasn't his vibe, but he thought it depended on the victim's situation. Still, he figured victims couldn't exactly think straight. So he kept musing, gotta watch 'em like a hawk so they don't go too far. Fist clenched tight, he was a guy playing by his own rules. Fedor asked if he'd leveled up. She admitted she thought he'd be a cakewalk. They locked eyes, dead silent, looking totally shook. Suddenly, something sharp crashed the party. Once it came into focus, Tai looked around, totally confused. Seeing Marcia block, he yelled, "Yo, it actually worked. Now's the time," he shouted, sprinting at her. He closed the gap and took a swing. Marcia freaked as something whizzed by. Finn? She gasped. Tai's eyes went wide. Total shock. Right then, the sword started buzzing and glowing like crazy. He rushed to hypnotize looking Marcia, leaving the sword stuck in the dirt. Her eyes were literally sparkling. He slashed with the blade, but she ducked the hit like a pro. The blind girl smacked him, and bam, both got blasted back. Tai slipped, sliding across the floor, sword still gripped tight. Clutching his gut, he wondered if that weapon had aim assist. Right after, Marcia popped up in front of the stuck sword. Eyes fluttering open, she realized her HP wasn't full yet. Suddenly, Tur showed up glowing with some weird energy. She smirked, impressed, but said, "Nice try, but I'm immune." He realized his skills were trash against Marcia. He'd wasted his flash step and face tanked a hit, sword still in hand. His look screamed that he was absolutely cooked. Fidance grinned he'd underestimated the kid. Dude was actually holding his own. But then he blinked, like, wait, never mind. Pai threw his hands up. "I take it back, I forfeit," he announced. In response, Lozin, Najine, and Lucian gaped at the scene. Marcia just looked annoyed. Black inside, calling the student a total snooze fest for ending it there. Then he stepped up to the plate. Lozin gave Tur props, but Najin was like, "Bro, why'd you quit?" Tur was like, "Bro, my flash flopped." She tanked it, 0% win rate. But Najin wasn't buying it, claiming there was totally a shot at winning. He swore Marcia only popped her ult because she was panicked. And totally bluffing. Winning just depended on if the knights intervened. Tai gave him this super exhausted look, asking if he was seriously trying to give a TED talk right now. Najin said to take the L as a lesson so they can level up next time. But Tai snapped back, "Dude, I lost cause I'm weak." End of story. Walking off salty, he muttered only Najin thinks about winning cause he's him. Lujian watched him go, telling Najin it was all just a pity party. Inside, Najin knew Tai could have clutched the win but quit way too early. Then Tai slow walked out of there. Suddenly, a blue stick went up next match loading. Lozen announced it was his turn while Najin eyed him close. Smirking. Durigan hit the field. Warren stood between him and Lozen. Lozen kept it chill, greeting his opponent with a good luck, have fun. Durigan was like, I got a question, and Lozen said, shoot. Then the dude asked how the Whittian crew even qualified. He started roasting the whole squad's skills, bringing up Ty's rage quit and Noonan's embarrassing loss. Cocky as hell, he told Lozen to FF and go home to save face. Lozen just stared blankly. Then he called Warren over, who asked, what's up? Lozen asked if their lives were actually protected during the brawl. The rival student scoffed, mocking him for being scared. But Warren grinned, promising there was zero need to stress. Durigan smirked at him. With a straight face, Lozen said he was ready. Najin blinked in surprise as Warren yelled, fight! While snow dumped down and the wind howled. Old memories started fading out. Stepping deep into the powder, he thought, I'm not gonna make it. The cold hit different, snowflakes burying his face. He ducked his head cause the wind felt like razor blades. Slowly turning, he checked out the silent, white wasteland. He trudged on, wishing the blizzard would just delete everything. Suddenly he face planted, totally drained and freezing. Asterisk thump, asterisk hand in the snow. He felt cold, lonely, and super depressed. Still, he figured it was whatever, and that maybe he could finally go join someone on the other side. But he wondered who'd actually be there. Then his eyes shut. Hearing someone yell, get up, he forced his eyes open again. Still on the floor, two voices argued if he was actually unalive. He twitched to prove he wasn't dead. They walked up, asked if he was good, and the squad was born. Back in reality, the back match intro started. He closed his eyes a sec to lock in. Then he snapped them open, looking ready to absolutely wreck. Duragon starts spinning his gear like a boss. Whipping it out real fast, he attacks. Yeets it at the guy. Missed. Opponent barely ducked. Then he checks the vibe. Reboots and preps the next slap. Staring contest. Other guy spins too. Baddie readies a counter, standing firm. Sick dodge. But it nicked his face. He keeps pushing, flexing hard. Rival swings wild, aiming to kill. Bam! Hits something. Debris flies like confetti. Pops out, sword ready. Wait, was that sheath just bait? He asks. No words, just backs off, blade out. Baddie charges, spinning a new attack. Dodges one, but eats a whole combo. Lugian's like, he's gonna lose. Total noob. Najin just watched. Every messy bit. Tyre's like, guy's OP. His math is perfect. Says the enemy reads him, easy dodge. Real issue? Zero variety in his kit. Side slash hits hard but exposes him. Basic skills are totally M.I.A. He's just button mashing. Takes a hit. Odds look trash now. Opponent grins. You're slow. One hit and it's over. But he freezes, waiting for the tick. Enemies confused. Why the lag? Tyre's shocked. Is he rage quitting? Other guy calls it pathetic. Game over. Najin asks, you buy that? Says she doesn't know this kid at all. He's simpler than folks get. Zap, energy rips through like thunder. Lucian yells that he hit, but Najin says, wait, he looks totally shook hearing that. Weird sword. This kid won't drop easy. Sweating buckets on his face, the grind is real. Still hyped, he asks, let me land one. Crowd shook. He inhales for the big one. Enemies annoyed, what you doing? I'm going all out. Bam. He crouched low and zoomed forward in a flash. But whoops, the guy's weapon snagged his leg, trapping him cold. The second he tipped over, that weapon came swinging right for his face. Nan was like, bro, sloppy aim, that's just asking for trouble. Enemy yanked hard, but he planted his feet, spotting a sweet opening. Okay, he was totally cornered, but a quick side slash could flip the script instantly. Smash! He wrecked the guy's gear and flattened the wooden props nearby. The crowd gasped simple hit, but total knockout power. Then, plot twist. Lozen wasn't actually a Woodian local. Nian and Nan grilled him on his past, but he was blanking hard. One bro went, is he nuts? And the other shushed him fast. So, he just stared at the strange dude quietly. Negan tossed him a spud. Eat up, slow down, it's yours. Offered a crash pad till memories rebooted, but bro said nope. Then Nan pitched a brilliant idea. Make the new guy chop tons of firewood for him. They exchanged weird looks while Lozen munched, feeling cozy inside. Nan swore it was temp, but spoiler alert, memory never came back. So, Najin just watched the days roll on by. But the guy recalled one freaky detail that terrified him. Flashback, standing in a forest full of chopped stumps. Saw a whole village wrecked, smoke and rubble everywhere. Black Hen eyed the scene, looking super interested. Zeus and Durang watched too, chatting about the skills. Boom! A building crumbled, kicking up a huge dust cloud. Darrigan stepped out of the fog. That all you got, Lozan? He yelled, mocking the kid. Lozan replied with lateral slash. A laser-sharp energy line shot right at the baddie. He ducked just in time, letting the blast wreck the back. Looked up and saw rubble raining all around him. Gritting his teeth, he knew the kid spammed the move again. Kid stared at the glow as his foe got yeeted into the distance. Totally losing it, he spiraled down in a messy free fall. Someone reached a hand out to the kid up top. Black Hen aimed up, swinging his spear to trace a light path. The spear tip zoomed straight at Lozan. Weapons banged together, dodging a major disaster. The spear's force blew him back. He hit the dirt by the huts. Spear in hand, he shouted, "Winner, Lozan of Woodian." Lozan slumped on the ground, looking absolutely toast. The whole class went wild, shocked. Nan asked about the spear while Darrigan raged silently. Weiron yelled, "Final fight of round 1, let's go." Pemal smirked, then Jarun stepped up strapped. Boom! They went full aggro instantly. Ref screamed primal wins. His arm was toast, though. Sun's down. Hen says, round 1 done, TMRW winners v Knights. Lozan and the squad were totally shook. Night vibes hit the village roofs. Wadden's like, Woodian got lucky with 1W. Lozan and Najin zipped it. Silence. Lozan goes, bro, see that auto-aim spear? Dude had zero clue. Hearing that weak reply, Wadran raged, it's celestial gear, literally ancient. Saw that crusty spear stuck in wood. He kept yapping, Naren's got mad OP hacks. Najin asks, her gear cracked too? Wadran snapped, listen, noob. You lost cause you zoned out. Yolia spilled tea to Nuljan. He nodded. He clapped back, Najin wasn't sleeping, Galaxy moves are buffed. Tell Nin that, I dare ya. That night, Lujin whined bout guard duty. Ours like, chill, first is best. Then we crash. Full moon glow up. Ludica stared at it, quiet. She pinged the whole squad for a quick huddle. Z stood up, yo, whole crew needs to fix the vibe. Gutsy? Yeah. Nightly? Nah. Fit asked, who's goat? He said Marcia. Squad nodded. Ludica jumped in, nah, Yolia's top tier. Durang sided with Team Yolia too. GS still stand Marcia. Asked Warren, who you wanna box? He chilled and said it was. Lyman's hyped for Lucian, she never quits even when losing. But Zeus was all about Alzian's brawl. Dude's got a cracked special move. Ludica's bored. Others wanna rearrange Wadran's face though. Fidine sighed, saying that Wadran's gross. She asked Duragan's pick. He panicked, Yolia. Zia's flipped the script, asking who the real MVP is right now. Durang gasped. Fiden's prepped the reveal. Then everyone agreed, it's Najin, obviously. Zaz, first time we agree. Kid's gonna carry us later. Durang got curious, who's actually knight material? They all opened their mouths to spill facts. Someone yelled Neen. He spun around, eyes blazing. Creepy dudes everywhere. A hand reached out, Neen. Bam, door slammed right on that hand. She pounded the wood, screaming her lungs out. For him to open up, asking if he was still alive in there. Weird noises leaked out. Could he really solo that mob in a closet? The door started cracking. Time to bail and find backup. Boom. The wood exploded, a blinding flash flooding the hall. A hand reached out through the debris and gusty wind. Nan saw him cape shredded, sword in hand, wreckage everywhere. He barely whispered, no. Najin shot up awake, eyes wide and bloodshot, hand in the air. Lujian instantly whined about his stomped foot and told him to get up, groaning that he was sleepy too. He sat up slowly, tying his hair. Wadran roasted him for sleep talking after taking an L. Quietly, he wondered if things would be different if he hadn't messed up his choices. His red eyes showed the doubt, what if he picked another path? Black Hen dropped the news, winners fight the Knights today. He pointed at Lyman. You're up first since you won by default. Who wants some? He asked. Durang yawned, debating if he cared. Fitterance raised a hand. I got this, he said, claimed it'd be a solid warm-up session. He faced off, smirking. Not using my left hand, eyes locked. Go time. They blurred into motion, kicking up a dust cloud. She squeezed her eyes shut for a split second. Pop. One yellow eye opened. Her bandaged hand moved like lightning. Lyman slashed. He blocked it cold. Lujian gasped at the spear. Najin looked shook. You rattled? Someone asked. Still. Spooked. Lujian yelped. Scary, right? Najin stayed quiet, just watching. Right after, Lyman struck fast. Fitterant swatted her hits away with blasts of energy. Lyman actually found the scrap kinda interesting. Tyre saw a rerun of Elzozen's fight. Elzen was just confused. Nan joked, maybe they're long-lost cousins? Meanwhile, the brawl dragged on. Lyman was panting. Fitterance asked, you really Liam? Eyes glowing, he teased, testing water style? You're barely trying. She didn't know how to take that. Why go full try hard if you're slacking too? She shot back. Her face twisted like she didn't hear him right. She just smiled. Lucian muttered, she's definitely got screws loose. She raised a hand, waiting for the drop. Zoom, Raccoon chucked her weapon at high speed. Snagged the sword one-handed, other hand in pocket. Total flex. Don't regret this, she warned him. Pimmel struggled with a sword while Lucian stared. Lyman heard catch, as the weapon spun her way. She snatched the tossed blade fast, green eyes popping, totally sweating it. Stare down lasted 2 seconds. Then, boom, total collision. Federin hit so hard she went airborne. Yeet, Black Hen saw the wreckage. Wait, killing's banned, right? Federin spun round. Chill, use the hilt, she's not split. Lyman hacked, feeling it. That dude's strength is insane. Elsewhere, Black-eyed a runner, then called the next victims up. Wadrin, Yolnia, Turrison, Quering, Marcia, Elzen, Pamel. Go. Lozen and Najin just gaped. Totally confused vibe. Knight was like, 7? Too many. Group up. Durang said it starts tonight. Still, he quipped. Tight schedule. These fights snooze, but I'm in. Need stared into the dark, red eyes full of doubts. Black Hen didn't stall and told the 7 kids, battle time, you ready? Boom. He challenged the whole squad solo, come at me. Wadden, Jerun, and the gang were totally shook. Ludica and Z's sighed. Ugh, so boring. Let's have fun, yeah, then he yelled for Lozen. Najin hessed, match started. Too late for side slashes. Just camp in the back and wait for an opening, dude. When nodded. Squad ready. Blacken started it. Snagged his moving spear mid-air. Sick. Then he rushed them. Super fast. Kids scrambled, but the knight smirked under that helm. He chucked the spear up high. Wadrin watched, clueless. Wham! Hit from behind. Why look up? Rookie mistake. Jaw dropped. Blasted by a blue flash. Knight landed hard. Crater formed. Wadrin dropped, debris raining everywhere. Z's told the fox. Raccoon. And dog, stay sharp. We jump in if needed. Knight grinned again under the metal. He ghosted out of sight fast. Torrison, was that a decoy? Boom, Knight's in his face attacking. Eyes glowing purple. Creepy. Fast hand strike. But they saw it coming. Counter time? Nope. Knight tanked it and blasted him back with energy. Tis stayed up, barely, but then got KO'd cold. Jerun and Pimmel gaped like idiots. Najin and Lujian were hyping the knights. Bare hand skills. Destroying kids without even a weapon. Najin's take? They're splitting up, which is dumb, wasting numbers and getting picked off solo. Yolia went full aggro on him. He locked eyes, fist clenched. Bam. One precise knuckle sandwich. Boom. Energy blast lit up the night like a firework. Zero chill. Marcia took to the sky for an aerial strike. Tyre, knights can't beat 7 noobs unarmed. Nanjin, bet. Red eyes squinting, he muttered, who said he's unarmed? Marcia glowed up as a projectile zoomed closer. Whoosh. A spear buzzed right past her. The blade dive bombed Pimmel. He shrieked like a banshee as it grazed him. Yolia zoned out for a sec. She looked away. Knight sneered, eyes on me, kid, rude much? Cue sound of someone winding up a sideways slash. Lozen swung fast, sending a sick energy ripple across the floor. The spear boomeranged back. Straight at the knight, clang, Lozen's hit met the spear. Stalemate, she snagged her weapon and cheered, finally, some teamwork. He blinked, totally shook. She twirled the spear. Now the party actually starts. Then she unleashed a wicked strike. Z saw the chaos. Cut it out, show's over. Ludica popped her umbrella to tank the hit. Smack. The blow rattled Ludica's defense hard. Meanwhile, the spear veered off toward the others. Bam. She got pinned, dust puffing up everywhere. Knight pouted. You guys are buzzkills. Durang just stared. Whoosh. Massive energy wave exploded from her. Bit much, huh? She asked. Let's chat, not brawl. Warren stood by Z's, whining about his feels. Z's declared the tryouts were officially done and squads were being drafted. Pimmel raged about being useless. Jaren watched, silent. Marcia thought, Trainees just got a reality check on the skill gap. Nuljan asked the girl if she was good. Najin noted it was special tech, way better than common junk. Minutes later, the village chilled out. Zeus explained, one night, 3 noobs per squad. Teams shuffle often. Need checked out his 2 new squadmates. Yolia stayed quiet. Nuljan hyped up, stoked to work with you. Najin agreed, but internally he panicked about how this mess would end. Scene cut to the sky above town. Lady Knight dubbed the last squad raccoons. Report over. Lu Jian asked, where you guys at? He got Federance's squad. Lozen reps Fox squad. Tires rocking raccoon. Najin? He's rolling deep with Kylan's crew. Lu noted the split. Laz was like, total bummer. She was all stay safe fam, don't die on me. Zeus hollered at Najin, said yo, we out, and told him to level up before the next reunion. They dipped early, strolling like they owned it. Laz asked, you good riding solo? Lu went, chill, worry about you. It's Nin. He tried to clap back, but Tur said focus up. She just stared. Awkward silence ensued. Tai thought, powerless? Nah, dude's still buff. Najin ghosted, drifting solo through town. Need mused on Z's words. Did I catch feels? The 4 nights then. Hit the woods. Z sat on a log, break time. Naj had a cue. Z's was like, spit it out. He asked about that epic war on spear and how to loot one. Z laughed. Rare drop, kid, not for noobs. The gear picks you. No invite? No powers. Nin figured that. Snagging one is impossible. Z just stared. Then dropped, you're tagging along. Fido gasped. Wait, I thought you hated him. Z shrugged, gotta check something out. Kept a straight poker face. Said Naj is weird. Hard to read cause that. Yolia fight was sus. He's deadly, not weak. He recalled Nian's crazy intense death glare. Wondered if he's smurfing acting weak. For clout? What's his actual endgame? So he kept watching like a hawk. Naj clocked that Z was onto him. Nin thought, Z's has crazy intuition. Bad news. Figured it was safer to look lame. Yo offered water, but he passed. She looked totally shook. Sorry I dissed your galaxy moves. My basics suck. Gave a shy little smirk. Then grinned for real. He told her, don't stress, you're OP anyway. Right then, Naj asked, teach me basics? I'm a total noob. The squad just stared, jaws on the floor. She insisted on schooling him in Galaxy Style 101, claiming top dogs have to look out for the underdogs. Even though Nuljan was skeptical, she swore the basics would be a total cakewalk. Zeus side-eyed him, wondering if the kid ran on pure instinct with 0 skills, or if he was just scamming them for free Galaxy lessons. Staring him down, he figured the boy was onto him. Jokes on him. Najin was actually sweating buckets right then. Standing up, he said they had a trek ahead and told the squad to move out, still doubting the kid was that sharp. A bit down the road, Najin scoped out his teacher. After a quick think, he chilled out. Next morning, they trailed the teacher like lost puppies. Hours later, the whole vibe of the place had changed. By the fire, someone dropped deep wisdom, power ain't the same as strength. With the crew circled up, Zaz claimed being powerful just means wrecking the dude in front of you. The class went dead silent at that. Then he flipped it, true strength is facing a guy you can't wreck. He said knights are for strength, not power like the quote says, and told them to quit goofing off. Nin chewed on that info for a bit. Days later, Z said they'd hit Crenel, mission start point. From a distance, the 4 knights checked out the fortress. He noted it was huge compared to Woodian and way closer, explaining his lazy travel route. Yolius whined about food while Nuljan asked what the gig was. Z's told them to relax, saying it wasn't anything sketchy. First step, locate a VIP. Who? They asked. He just gave a creepy smirk. He showed a pic of a hooded mage holding a shiny orb. The squad rolled through Chrono's gates. Walking in, Najin asked, why the mage? And Z said it wasn't just a chat, but an escort quest to the capital. Najin went quiet. Need asked why though. Zeus shot back, top secret, zip your lips. Najin hated blind orders. Then, Ionia and Nuljan's guts rumbled loud. Z's asked if the kid was starving, and yeah, he was. Yeah, said let's grub, since Nuljan was dying of hunger. Z's decided to solo the mage hunt, telling them to pause and snack fast before he got back. He dipped, leaving the trio staring at each other awkwardly. Yolia asked, so, what's for lunch? Nuljan asked her pick. She wanted some weird soup but not soup thing. Meanwhile, Najin drifted through the crowd. He was like whatever. Then Nuljan screamed about his sword. Najin checked his hip. Gone. He whipped around and saw a guy bolting fast. Hood guy crept through the mob, sword ready. Yo, pickpocket. Get him. Noljin screamed. Nin stared hard, heart going boom boom. Hoodie bolted, asterisk thud, asterisk red eyes blazed. He glanced back. Nin gasped and sprinted. Running, he wondered, one of those masked creeps? A trap? Should we even chase? Noljin hollered and ducked into an alley. They cornered him. Wrong target, bro. We're trainees. Yonia sassed. Right there, the dude gripped his blade, eyes crazy bright. Yolia rushed in galaxy style. Let's go. Asterisk zap, asterisk lightning hit. Yolia was shook. She barely dodged the swipe. Too close. Impressed. Watch out, he's actually cracked, she warned. Then Masked Face lunged at him. Noljin grit his teeth, fist ready, threw a punch blocked. He stumbled back. Noljin eyeballed the enemy and his sword. Asterisk knew it, asterisk Mask thought. Noljin realized, it's him. The bad guy's strike came fast. Asterisk bam, asterisk a blur hit him, knocking him flying. He hopped onto the roof. A guy in wine red tossed Nine's sword down. Then asked, y'all still wanna fight? Who are you? Nin asked. Masked guy watched. The figure huffed, totally annoyed. Then jumped off and ghosted into the dark. Asterisk can't chase him, asterisk Noljin thought. You hurt? The man asked. She stared. Who are you? He just grinned. A knight? Yolia asked. Nah, just a drifter. Smiles. Noljin looked. Shook. Thanks. No biggie, he said. Noljin grabbed his sword. Clumsy. Noljin teased. Yolia lolled. The trio went quiet. Dark Hair looked at Noljin. Have we met? He asked, smirking again. Never know. See you around, maybe. Yolia and Noljin hollered at Noljin. Come eat. I'm starving. Walking off, Yolia asked, soup sounds lit? The stranger watched him leave, silent. He frowned, recalling someone. Said don't go solo. He eyed the broken wall. Right there, the masked dude knelt, staring. My bad, he cringed. But taking out Majin? Too juicy to miss. Guy shoots back, nah. If he's fire boy, he's unkillable. Masked dude asked, okay, but what if Najin eyes the fire kid? He paused, giving him the total side eye. Fixing his fit, he finally spoke up. Heard and June flopped the test, but honestly? Kid's got skills. Mask off, let's stalk him a bit longer, he smirked. So the three trekked on, Najin looking super emo. Z's suddenly flagged a vibe shift. We gotta bounce, now, he said mid-snack. Yoli glared, Najin chilling in the back. Noljin's like, yo, we're out of snacks. Z stayed chill. We'll fix it. Just keep moving, guys. Hoodie guy steps up. I'm Schumann. I do magic. Najin asks what's up. Noljin just nods along. Schumann got awkward and confessed. I'm being followed. Play Zep protect me from getting whacked. The squad listened to his spiel intently. Najin thought bandits? Then figured he was overthinking. Still, Z's said, be careful. Danger's real, but we're ripped. Schumann begged. Yolia whispered Kylan super quiet. Walking on, Yolia asked, lunch when? Sky was totally clear above him. Someone grabbed a weed. It's healthy, just cook it first. Yolia gagged, we eating grass now? Z's was like, survival skills, bro, learn 'em. Z's and Yolia stayed guard. Boys went foraging. Someone yanked a plant out. Yoink. Nan said, drop it. Only safe if you eat it plain. How you know? Noljin asked. Mountain life, dude. 8 tons. Then Najin pivoted. Why'd you get kicked from the match? He just served a serious glare. I sucked, he admitted. Too weak. I'm zero without Yolia. Najin stared at him, thinking hard. Noljin changed lanes. Why's the shield the MVP weapon? Nin explained. If spear and shield are top tier, they gotta be tough as nails. If neither breaks, shield wins. Logic. Even if skills match, shield wins. Chaos factor. Noljin hyped up the others in. View, go get food. Are they really equal? Hands out, holding a bowl of grub. Noljin sighed. Sorry Yolia, no meat today. She begged Schumann to zap their food into steak. He asked if she really expected a veggie to beef miracle. Schumann rolled his eyes, annoyed that normies treat magic like cheat codes. He mused that casting spells is super complex and one tiny goof ruins it, plus you can't just delete physics. Red-faced, he finally admitted he couldn't actually do it. Despite the cringe vibes, the weather stayed totally chill. Plates empty, Zos yelled for a quick spar before bailing. Since Noljin took the L last time, his name came up. Then Z's paired him up to brawl with Najin. 3 minutes, no weapons, Just a quick weakness check. At 3, Nuljan gulped hard. Najin locked in, hearing 2. Zas yelled 1 and start. Nan launched himself forward. Mid-air, he figured he needed to keep a safe gap to dodge, recalling the last messy fight. He stayed super alert. He scanned for moves the previous winners showed off. He planned to remix the Galaxy-style moves Yolia taught. Nejin finally raised his fists. The other guy flinched but squared up too. He knew he couldn't match the raw power of his rivals, but he could totally bluff it. From the sidelines, Yolia noticed Najin's quick progress. Nuljan realized his foe leveled up and patched his bugs. Impressed, he had to admit it was pretty cool. Najin kept his guard up, zero fear. Solid start. He pounced, loading up the move he used on Yonia. Nuljan reflexively crossed his arms to guard his face. The hit felt stronger than before, but not crazy OP. Still, Najin figured if his power failed, he'd have to exploit a weak spot. He scanned for a soft spot, something he knew well from experience. Humans all break the same way. With that in mind, he landed a solid hit. Intense stare. The guy stumbled back, then froze up. Nuljan doubled over, feeling massive pain. Shocked, Najin realized his cheap shot worked. The mage winced, worried she didn't have the healing chops. Chill as ever, Ziz told her to relax. He explained that Yolia knew some healing spells. Schumann got salty realizing she had magic but still begged him. But he chilled out pretty fast. Ziz analyzed the move. It clearly targeted the face. Nuljan guarded high, but the fist wrecked his stomach. Flashback time. It totally reminded him of that thing from the tryouts. Maybe a secret move? Not Galaxy vibes. Luck or skill? He aimed right for the liver. One good hit there and it's game over, bro. Zeus kept his eyes peeled though. Total hawk. Najin thought, did I whiff it? A real hit would have totally wrecked him. Right after, Nuljan chilled out, heart racing. He squinted super hard. Then it clicked. Def Galaxy style. Nuljan rushed him. Threw a punch, but whoosh missed. He realized this was the real deal. Galaxy Pro tier. Zaz watching was like, sus. Najin was still fighting weak, just like the tryouts. Seeing that, he wondered if Najin was weird like him. Cut, he yelled. Nuljan whined, not done yet. Chill, he said. I've seen enough to school you too. Then he asked Najin, why the weak sauce hits? Nin stayed silent for a sec. Why ask? He thought, then just said, yeah, I do. Zeus bought it. Cool, let's bounce, he said. Elsewhere, Ludica asked, you guys tired? Need a nap? Wheezing hard, they gasped, no way. Ludica grinned. Sick. Let's speed run this then. Shook, the students just nodded. Fitterance jumped in, don't get too cocky, he warned. There's bigger fish out there, he said. You'll all level up if you actually listen and grind hard. Durang smirked. Wanna rage quit? Speak now. Never. The students yelled back. Durang looked pleased. Good enough for me. Wandrin watched, nervous. Blackhand asked, what if I end you now? The girls freaked. Marcia spoke up first. I'd 1v1 you so they can escape, she said. We're looked shocked at that. We'd lose a 3-on-1, she said. I'm the strongest, I'll stall him. Warren liked the guts, but said, don't flex. He asked, last how long? Can they run from my weapon? The 3 girls went quiet, staring. Do better next time, Warren said. Think fast or it's game over. Ziz warned him. Dude's dangerous. Stay away. Schumann saw Black Hen and gasped, you know him? Ziz was like, maybe. Schumann cried, I'm out. Nulgan asked, why's Hen the boss? Ziz explained, that's on me. Shocked, Najin asked why Black Hen had haters since her dark vibe helped her hide. Ziz frozen and hit him with a sudden question. Do you actually buy that whole darker equals stronger myth? Yolia argued pastels were way cuter and asked if that logic was total bogus. Ziz turned to Najin for his hot take. Najin figured people think that cause strong guys leave a serious mark. He said dudes like him being dark and buff just created a massive stereotype. Ziz just smirked and said, folks see what they want. Weirdly enough, he and Najin shared a brain cell. Then the kid asked if he could beat Blacken in a fight. Ziz stepped up and admitted he was way weaker. Najin was totally shook. Thinking it over, he dropped a bomb. He was actually pretty weak in general. He claimed he was likely on Yolia's level, making her gasp in shock. Ziz wrapped up his point saying that was exactly why he got stuck with them, they were already the tough ones. Then he told Najin to imagine a rival at night level and plan a squad tactic. He wanted their answers by the next morning. Yoni nudged Najin that Galaxy style was night level, but he suspected Ziz dropped that info on purpose for their homework. Najin knew he could scheme a win, but he lacked muscle to pull it off. He then buzzed the mage and cut straight to the chase. Najin listed some questions and a favor. Soon after, darkness fell. In the dark, a bandaged hand clutched a note. The mage got called a total fool. Suddenly, a spooky, massive figure popped up, calling herself the first spear of the royal guard. Then she announced she was bouncing black and wear and analyzed vibes and body language, seemingly loving every second. Still, Najin felt like he just couldn't read that person at all. Elsewhere, Ziz was walking off when someone shouted Saruan Pylon. He glanced back for a sec, then turned away in total silence. Najin thought Ziz was a stone wall. Maybe cause he was hiding secrets. The mage cut in, asking if he was still zoning out or listening. He nodded, noting magic felt like fancy math, and asked what was next. She said next was invocation, basically begging the magic forces. Najin thought beg sounded weird, but she swore that was the deal. She explained that magic depended on how much the powers liked you based on math and talent to make spells work. Najin asked if it really all boiled down to raw talent, but she shook her head no. Powers are picky. Without a perfect equation, the magic flops. When Najin asked about her, she bragged she was a pro at both. She said that's why she's the mage, sliding over a glowing blue paper. She explained that the simple light spell on that paper would reveal Najin's power level based on how bright it glowed. He was like, 2 hands on the paper, kid. Picture the air clumping up and whisper light. Najin shut his eyes, focusing hard. The second he whispered it, asterisk boom times mega flash right from the page. Meanwhile, Black Hen Warren watched the city and casually dropped, I'm a magus, by the way. Wadden and another student gasped, wait, seriously? Fitterance nodded. Yup, legit magus. The trio exchanged confused looks. Why here? Durang piped up, he's prepping for war. Whoops, scratch that, it's actually top secret. Jarun and Marka got hype, asking if they'd get to meet the wizard guy. You bet, Ludica said, reaching for the door handle. Zero chill, Fitterance shoved the door open, yelling, hey, magus in the house? Durang cringed hard. Henwaran peeked in, face dropping, big problem, guys. Some hoodie-wearing dude was floored, black blood splattered all over the wall. Meanwhile, Najin's hair was literally glowing like a lamp. Najin freaked out. Ziz glowed blue, but the kid wouldn't let go of the shiny paper. He grabbed the glowing sheet and barked, everybody freeze. The paper started buzzing and cranked the brightness up to 11. The light pulsed steadily between his fingers, refusing to fade. They stared until she asked, what gives? Figuring someone was pinging Ziz. Suddenly, the Magus's eyes went wide, pointing straight at the paper in Najin's hands. He blinked, red eyes blazing. But his paper? Totally dead, zero glow. Najin slumped, bummed out, asterisk guess the magic life isn't for me, asterisk. The magus smirked. Well, you don't see that every day. Najin looked at Yolia, who grinned. I know a trick or two. He chewed on that. Was that earlier flash just Ziz messing around? Nearby, the boss chill watched the paper twitching in his fingers. The magus broke it down. It's called a Katen. Night emergency pager, basically hacked so any noob can use it. Did some genius magus build that? Najin asked. She grinned, flexing a bit. Yup. I can whip them up myself. Najin and Yolia were totally shook. Can you help? Najin pleaded. We've got a major emergency here. Ziz dropped the bomb. Other team's target got smoked. Our magus is next. The magus, Najin, and Yolia gasped. The magus practically begged, please, keep me safe. Ziz got serious. Step 1, find the mole in our squad. They listened hard. Najin and Yolia exchanged majorly suspicious side eyes. Ziz stared at the floor. Yeah, that tracks, he admitted. Solid logic. He thought it was pretty savage too. Assume a spy straight up, but his usual ice-cold vibe helped him stay objective. Najin watched everyone like a hawk. Still, Ziz announced that looking at the facts, we're clear. One of you cares more about lunch than the mission anyway. Yolia gave a tiny shrug, face totally red. Busted. Nulgin turned totally tomato red. Ziz kept yapping, yo, zero spies here. Only a real homie would suggest that. I trust y'all. Najin went full detective mode, thinking hard. Ziz swore, I ain't the imposter, guys. If I was, Mage would be toast already. Quit staring. The mage clocked that Najin was acting sus. Then he realized, nah, she's too clueless for that. Ziz, detour time. Might bump into baddies though. Mage was like, is that actually smart? You replied, well, we didn't find the body. He panicked, plan, now. Najin, brain blast? Yup. remaking the plan based on actual skills. Z's looked shook and asked, "Wait, what? I warned y'all. Did you think I was memeing?" Najin and Yolia gave him the side eye. Asterisk sweat drop. Asterisk is Z's actually a noob? Eyes blazing, Najin said, "Let's cook." Meanwhile, creepy drip hit the floor. The squad watched, jaws on the floor. Hurt wild dog Fit stepped up, weapon ready. Doorway? Huge shadow dude, red eyes, scary. Fit clenched up, "Girls, turn around. Now." Eyes glowing, he screamed run. Asterisk swish, asterisk. Then? Boom. Huge explosion. Flashbang. The light went everywhere. Fit smashed his giant sword into the dirt. He yeeted himself at the enemy, gripping tight. His eyes were laser focused, locked in. Asterisk smack, asterisk enemy down. Suddenly? Hat guy appears. Dirty face, but he didn't blink. Dark vibes started spreading fast. Shadow guy asked, "You a basic knight?" Running away, they saw a giant light beam. Ouch. Sharp pain. Someone fired a laser. Shadow dude flexed his weapon. Fit was confused. 0 damage? Seriously? Enemy scoffed, checking him out like trash. Najin asked, "Is that guy an indie knight?" Z's watched closely. There are 2 types. The certified ones who take tests. And indies VIPs bribe not to rebel. Guess the big difference? He asked. Nuljan. Skill? Exam kids should be OP. Z's was like, exactly. Official knights are buff, but some rogues are OP since not every beast wants a title. So Yolia was like, "Is the difference honor?" And he's kinda like, "Yeah, somewhat." Then he drops the bomb. The real gap between pros and solos is wild. He flashes the G, a sword wrapped in chains. Edgy. Najin's clueless, asks what G is, so he spills the tea. All pro knights gotta pledge their souls to the emperor. The catch? It's a custom oath. Just between the knight and the big boss. Then he wraps it up saying for a true knight, that promises life, break it? No chance. Najin smells a rat, so these vows are just a leash for control, right? Zeus nods hard. Bingo. You nailed it. Text says rules are weird, like no killing with back to east, or only hitting grounded foes. Invisible stuff? Off limits. Basically, he admits these rules are fatal nerfs. They control knights by making them weak. Yolnius kinda seem to get it. So the G is literal chains on the sword? Deep stuff. Najin asks if the shady guy was a rogue. Zeus laughs, "Nah, just a figure of speech, kid." Turns out he's a pro knight who got nerfed by the oath but unlocked a cheat code power in return. But the power's top secret. He tells the squad, "Zip it, okay?" Right then, Nan panics. If Zeus is weak, his hide behind buff dude's plan is totally toast. That. He realizes if bandits jump them now, they're sitting ducks. Then Zeus announces, "We're here, folks." Najin's eyes pop out. Crunching ice sounds. He sees the massive frozen wasteland. Ice desert time. He totally freaks out. Still, he wants to tour the ice zone, Crystal Sea, and Finger Rock. Yolia pokes the ice. "You hyped or what?" She whines it's freezing. Zeus snaps, "Don't touch." Stuff. Says this is Wild Dog's turf and they're teaming up. Yolia sighs. Thank goodness it's cool to be near his crew, all hopeful. Shuma tells Najin, "Job's done. Show some respect, barbarian." He ignores the guy, just staring at the view. Smirks a little. Looks up at the sun blazing over the ice. Z's yells, "Yo, what's the hold up? Move it." Dude keeps staring at the popsicle land anyway. Turns around. "Coming, chill." Shuma's like, "Nice view?" He answers kinda unsure. Suddenly, Z's gets serious. Halt. Eyes open, now. He gave the heads up something sketchy was lurking in the woods. Shuman, Nuljan, and Najin stared at the spot, looking grim. Then, asterisk crunch asterisk, something was definitely crashing through the bushes. Z's didn't blink. The rustling got way louder. Lucian burst out, totally wrecked and screaming his head off. He froze on the path, gasping while everyone gaped at him. Yeah, and Najin were like, "What gives?" He yelled, "It's Fitterance." Everyone panicked, but Zeus coolly asked for the tea. Boom. A huge light blast went off right behind them. Yonia and Najin spun around, totally spooked. A shady hat guy appeared, weapon dripping wet. Z skipped the chat and got ready to throw hands. He locked in and told the squad to prep for battle. Past Negan lies the east, where a war is about to pop off. 5 legendary spears guard the king of that doomed land. The boss is first spear Narion, who broke bad after some drama. So she crossed the sea on the low and crashed this ice field. Z's asked Lucione if it was her. She nodded, zero hesitation. He clocked her Eastern vibes instantly, posture and fit gave it away. He took a couple of steps forward, telling the rookie to guard the mage, no matter what. The rookie nodded, ready to back him up. Z said figure out how to survive, then charged in. He stomped the ice so hard it cracked like glass. Next second, he got yeeted across the field. Brutal. She wasted no time, sprinting over the shattered ice. She closed the gap fast, eyes glued to him. She spun and blurred out. Z stayed focused, keeping cool. Then he tried another quick hit, but barely dodged a blade to the face. He slapped his hand on her weapon to jam it fast. Right then, Narion mocked him for finally taking his hands out of his pockets. Rude much? Z's was confused by the sass, trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, Najin figured the masked warrior was Eastern and definitely chasing the mage. Suddenly, Z's ate a massive punch, total knockout power. He slid across the ice, carving deep tracks from the hit. Hurt bad, he gritted his teeth, fighting to stay awake. Narion started walking over, slow and menacing. Z scraped up some energy and struggled to stand. He watched her approach, trying to process the beatdown. Narion told the noob she'd decide the mage's fate herself. She told the others to show their faces since they were strangers. Najin stayed quiet, calculating their next move. Narion spun her blade like a total snob, slicing the air to shreds. She zoomed past, moving so fast she chopped up the wind itself. Nan spotted sharp ice chunks flying everywhere. Yolia popped up, blasting a fancy galaxy-style thunder move. Narion focused, weapon high, aiming her magic like a sniper. She yelled at the boys to guard the whiz, then swish, surprise hit. She got absolutely yeeted backward and face planted hard. Narion loomed over her, staring daggers through that mask. Z's was in the back, totally inspecting her helmet specs. Yolia squeezed her fists, looking super salty about it. She and Z's double-teamed him, smashing energy head-on. Under the mask? Narion's eyes were laser-focused, zero doubts. She blurred out again, moving stupidly fast. Z's eyes bugged out, he totally knew that spicy move. She waltzed through their combo, dodging like a total pro. Z stumbled, eating the hit like a truck just slammed him. Yolia coughed blood. Yep, she was definitely messed up bad. Her legs turned to jelly and she crashed, shaking the floor. Nulgin and Neem gaped as their buddies dropped like flies. She was floored, panting hard and totally shook. Suddenly, cue the dramatic flashback. Mini Yolia told Nulgin she'd serve him as the galaxy heir. She swore that the tough guys gotta save the weak, calling him her hero. But her dad, zero chill, just said train harder, no props. She didn't whine though, just grinded daily to level up. Fist clenched so hard it bled. Total drama alert. Dad told Nulgin he was insanely talented. He made the galaxy style look like amateur hour. He told his girl to sweat more just to catch the golden boy. Why just stared back, making a silent pact right there. Nulgin thought whatever happens, he'd hype her up as the goat and play sidekick. He mumbled it was his ego, while Najin creeped in silence. He stepped up and begged the mage to fix Yolia, stat. Schumann was like, what's the point if we're toast? But did it anyway. Narion rushed Nulgin like a raging bull. But he just shut his eyes, chillin' for the next play. He popped galaxy style page 1, leaking crazy aura. Bam! He hit so hard the ice exploded everywhere. Najin watched, stunned by the insane power dump. Narion just cracked the floor, totally unfazed. Nulja eyed Najin, who was buzzing with sparks. He spun around, making one final zip it about this around Yolia. He hissed, dead serious. Yolia triggered galaxy style page 1 and bam, huge hit. She wheezed hard, totally drained. That move wrecked her. Standing by the wall she smashed, feeling Nulgin's eyes on her. He was all like, whoa, awesome, and realized she's the sole heir to that galaxy swagger. She offered him lessons though. Help the weak is the vibe. Later, he hauled some heavy logs, looking totally beat. Then, he got super serious. Just for funsies, he tried to copy that galaxy move. Boom. Rocks smashed everywhere, turns out he's cracked at this. Kept it on the low though. Gotta respect her spotlight. Enjun blanked out, gazing at that icy wasteland he missed. Plot twist, not Nyan. It was Nan. He snapped out of it, shocked by the other dude's power. Nulgin figured he lost cause he's soft. Just kidding himself. Nin got a grip. Had to figure a way out, fast. It hit him how serious things were. Focus or die trying. Mask guy went, off a gin or you're toast, kid. Suddenly, he stabbed his own chest. Held that handle tight. Kept clutching the blade while Fedian smirked nearby. The masked squad started picking their next victims. Zeus dropped bad news, rescue team failed. Mages are toast. Lucian yelled Fedor. looking totally shook. Narion yelled, show yourself, but didn't know who to look for. Najin froze for a sec, thinking hard. Nuljan dove in, throwing a massive punch. But the hit phased right through, enemy didn't budge. Then crack. Got kicked hard in the leg. Zeus was wheezing, looking pretty worried. Narion got in his face, some knight you are, losing to a lackey. Z's realized Mr. Bones was buff, thought about using that. But he hesitated. Go nuclear here? If not, the whole squad's dead. Narion was so done with him. Finishing this before I get annoyed. Nuljan unleashed Galaxy. Thunder, zero chill. He sprinted in fast. Landed a solid hit, but ate one right back. That counter hurt. Z screamed his name, panic mode. Lujian watched, totally freaked out. Fists clenched, she was fuming. Furious, but yeah, she was glued to the spot. Felt like dead weight, she's too weak to jump in. Clutched her sword, feeling pathetic. Still, she wanted to throw hands. Lujian wanted gains. But suddenly, someone yelled. She spun. Najin? Her eyes popped out. Schumann grabbed the sword. Talkin' about her? Najin pointed. Think you can handle it? Pfft, easy, Schumann said. What's the plan? Then it clicked. She said no big targets. He swung anyway. Lujian screamed, hey, move it, he hissed. Blade glowed, then zoomed. Lujian watched the steel, totally confused. Then her eyes went wide. No way. Blood on the ice. Nuljan kept brawling nearby. Z's felt cooked. Totally out of juice. Like his pal. Someone's gonna die at this rate. No choice. Time to unleash times that times thing. Boom. Flying sword. Everyone gasped. Clueless Schumann helped Yolia, then slash. Najin held her hostage. Chill out, guys. Nuljan froze. Bro, have you lost it? Z stayed tense. Narion walked up. Sup? It's me, Najin said. Lujian stared. Why though? Honestly, this was a massive risk. Figured Narion meant the spy among them. Since the traitor was Anon, it was super sus. My bad. I'll be the spy you want. Tension was high, but he knew. Narion sharp, but the gamble might work. Risky guess, but he had his reasons. He gripped the sword tight. Fine, lead the way, Narion said. Najin nodded. Dude bought it cause of the sword. So the skeleton's buddies with the bandits. Giant hole opened in the ice desert. Magic fixed Yolia. She started waking up. Nuljan walked over. You good? Z's, fix that wound, she agreed. He turned to Lujian. Where's the squad? Dunno, we got split up. What about the wild dog? He said run. Sorry I bailed on the fight. Z's got real. It wasn't your fault. You both would have died. Learn from this, toughen up. Don't stress, just get stronger. She nodded. Z's wondered about Najin. Meanwhile, Najin was asking. Stop hitting. Narion gasped. Yo, what's the deal? Grabbing Lucian, Najin yelled, we gotta dip. Save the drama for later. Is that an order? Narion scoffed. Just move. I'll spill the tea on the way. The guy stared, seeing Najin wasn't joking. Zeus piped up. So, we rolling, or what? In the woods, Narion nagged, why'd we let him live? You're sus, he warned. Spill the real reason or you're toast. Najin shrugged. I hear ya, but honestly? I got nothing. Total panic moved to save us. The crazy part's coming. He knew one wrong word meant game over for him now. I need deets first. You recall the mission, right? He planned to use the chat to fish for info. Narion grabbed him, laughing. Only helping cause the king said so. Super awkward, Najin said, my bad. Thinking, asterisk, we totally don't trust each other, asterisk. Releasing him, Narion sneered, watch your mouth, you cocky brat. Najin wiped his face, guessing the guy looked down on him but respected his guts. Asterisk whatever, better if he ignores me, asterisk he figured. Then, Narion got in his face again. Why spare those fakers? They asked for it. We gotta ship the mages, he lied. To the city, asterisk, just keep yapping, asterisk he thought. Kylan's sharp. Keeping him alive hides our tracks. Narion frowned. How come? City entry needs a magic pass only they can scan. Narion watched him like a hawk. Najin kept his cool. A total lie, but the castle ID check was actually real. Mixing truth with lies made it believable. It sounded legit enough, even if he couldn't check. Narion was already annoyed anyway. Is this really needed? Narion asked. Najin stayed vague to let him guess. Fine, Narion caved. I'll ask the boss. Lead on. As they hiked, asterisk he recognized my sword. Must know the bandit boss. Asterisk, it was messy, but He could milk this for info. Just survive till rescue. But which way? A scream snapped him out of it. Lucian screamed fitterance. Terrified. Zeus and Yolia stared. Then Fidance bursts in, panting and looking totally wrecked. Schumann steps up, dropping info. The enemy is OP with illusions. But how? Zero clue. Back at the ranch, Zeus, stoked he's alive, asks why he didn't unleash Caden. He's like, I suck at that, told you already, earning a massive sigh. But then he notices the empty spots and frowns. Wait, where's the rest of the squad? Z's, putting on his serious face, tells him and Schumann they're clueless on the deets but gotta find the two newbies fast. As for Najin, Lucian, stayed icy silent. Z's decided to bench the drama for later. Fidance nods, wiping the grime off, and asks, so, what's the play? Zia says, barring Lucian, everyone just has minor scratches and is patched up, but they need a power nap to recharge. He also pinged the knights, but they're lagging days away. Then he glances aside, daydreaming about the whole crew reuniting. Hearing that, Schumann looked totally lost. He shuts his eyes, zoning out for a sec, then says they gotta keep grinding. Danger's been part of the gig since day one in special class. Meanwhile, those two kept trekking the woods, drowning in bad vibes. Ludica recalled that special class missions meant constantly risking their necks. Then Zia declared they'd do the job, lives were on the line since joining anyway, and told the mage to scram. Hearing that, Schumann knew it was legit after thinking it over. Soon, Lucian wondered about Nin turning traitor, despite his attitude. She remembered him hurting her, touching her face, super stressed out. Still, she swore he had a reason for acting crazy, even if she was clueless. Day 3, some shady cloaked dude stalked the woods with Najin leading the way. He wondered if anyone clocked his moves, with that shadow creeping behind him. He starts thinking being branded a snake. Beats being bait and getting ditched. Flashbacks of their fights hit him. Then cuts to Zeus looking grim. Najin figures he knows what's up and hopes it doesn't go south, cause knights. Way up ahead, Nerion checks the range but panics the skeleton might spot them. Z's replies he's not there yet cause he kept it quiet to save the plan. Then he announces it's game time, eyeing the rest of the squad. Nan wonders who the mole is, scanning the area hard. Walking, he thinks there might be more spies than just Lucian, trying to guess who. All of a sudden, eyes pop when he spots something wild. He remembers someone acting exactly like those masked thugs. That reaction? Dead giveaway. He totally guesses who the rest of the crew is. This connection is huge, even if he doesn't have the receipts yet. Or a spy headcount, whatever, stressing is pointless. Time for plan B. Next up, thinking about those masked creeps. Endgame. Were they trash-talking the knights or fangirling? Side-eyeing the bone guy next to him, he figures the Eastern Alliance vibe screams hostile intent. Bet it all clicks once he spots that sky blue raccoon. Is the bandit trying to win a war against the East? Doubt they're locals, seeing who their skeleton buddy is. Suddenly, Skelly goes, "You're thinking too loud, kid, busted." Najin admits, "Okay, yeah, you kinda creep me out. Still, gotta get the tea," so he decides to butter him up. "You're amazing, dude." Hoping to score some points. The skeleton says absolutely nothing. Awkward. Then he drops a bomb. "I hate kiss asses." Najin is shook. Skelly says fakes back home messed with the king's head. Claims he showed those spoiled brats what's up. Najin starts sweating bullets, realizing he totally put his foot in his mouth. But Skelly admits that's why he looks like this, correcting him. Najin tries to save it. Bitter pills cure ills. You weren't wrong. But the skeleton swears he was just loyal. No regrets. Hopes the king gets it eventually. Then he admits Najin might actually have good instincts. So Najin keeps hyping him up, saying the king will wake up soon. Knights are mid compared to you. Thinking of that Eastern energy. Out of nowhere, the blue skeleton cuts him off. Najin's like, "Wait, what?" Guy says that move? Just his spear skills. Disses the knight's stats, says he didn't even need his Kai. Najin gets it. Was that not even full power? Big yikes. He figures the guy's legit and if the knights pull up, they're gonna get cooked. Skelly calls it a dragon move, then bam slices everything in sight. Instantly, Najin is awestruck. "Yo, thanks for the show, that was sick." He feels special, but then the skeleton interrupts. "That was a warning. You got 1 minute, fix your attitude." Najin's lost. "Huh? What did I say wrong?" Other guy just glares. Super intense. Freaking out, Najin realizes this is serious and tries to figure out where he messed up. He stammers, "You make me nervous, you're the goat." Brain screaming, "Think fast, idiot." Last ditch effort, He claims the knights are total scrubs and the king's gonna totally get his vibe, bragging about some weird Eastern key trick. Asterisk snap, asterisk a tree cracks nearby before getting absolutely obliterated by Skeleton Boy. Nan's jaw basically hits the floor. Total shock. He confesses he's clueless about his screw-up as the other guy gears up. Panicking, he figures he messed up the link between Skelly and those masked creepers. Big regrets now. Plan flopped, and he knows he was sloppy. Suddenly, a massive hit comes raining down from up top. Scared stiff, he stares up as the smackdown gets closer. Z's thinks, wow, arrogant much? Remembering how the special class meant risking it all. Dead serious, he just watches the drama, focused on the chaos about to drop. Skelly swings hard, but Ludica blocks it with her red brawly. Clutch save. Jin's flabbergasted by this wild plot twist. Durang charges in, weapon out, ready to wreck the enemy. Laser focused, she plants her feet. Zeus confirms they're all in, starting operation, get Najin back. Flashback time. Months ago on the eastern coast, Skelly says a squad member will meet him halfway to play tour guide. Then two masked dudes start talking. Big game, claiming they're top tier spears and the king's gonna love it. Skelly ain't having it, points his spear right at him. He snaps, don't say my name, scrubs, you ain't on my level. One guy apologizes profusely, promising to chill out. He just stays quiet. Awkward. The other guy's like, hope we can vibe now that we're a team. Back to now. Zeus looks super grim. Lu Jian claims Nin might be a jerk, but he's no snake. She thinks he just backed himself into a tight spot trying to save the squad. But she's still confused by what Zeus said earlier. He sighs, Nin likely didn't flip. That self-sacrifice stuff is a knight thing, not rookie behavior. Even though he's suspicious and hates the guy's moves, he says they've got one play left. Durang steps up like a boss, while Zeus says, grab him. Suddenly she yells, incoming. She reacts fast, unleashing a wicked sword slash. Bam! Hits a shadow, sending dust flying everywhere. Dust clears. Durang shook. Skelly didn't even flinch. He jumps right after getting bonked by the umbrella. Looking for the attacker, he gets yeeted away by Ludica's tiny umbrella. Narion skids back from the hit. Super annoyed, he death glares at the gang. Durang, Zias, and Ludica step up. We're the knights, fam. Zos mocks Narion, babysitting that jerk was rough. We're taking back what's ours. Najin is literally shook by the whole scene right now. Catching the bad vibes, Narion gears up fast. Ziz is like, yo, this bone guy cancels our hits. Spamming attacks is pointless. He tells the squad to stay woke cause he's got eyes on everything. Then Skelly starts busting out some dragon kung fu moves. Even the birds are freaking out and yeeting themselves away. Nearby, Hurt Fitterance is salty about being benched. Cause of his wounds, even though the other guy is wrecked too. Losing wheezes hard, can't run no more. The squad looks dead on their feet. Then Fitterance hypes up his grind and says, chill a sec, then we go again. Schumann thinks, man, this training is actually brutal. Suddenly the trio jumps, hearing something super sus. Just then, a huge energy vibe check blasts the area. Meanwhile, everyone's still beefing with the skeleton. He glares daggers at them. Durang is totally gasping for air. Ziaz is drained too. Ludica grabs her umbrella, ready to throw hands. She rushes him as soon as possible, but hitting him is a total no-go. Ziz peeps the scene, plotting his next play. Durang runs up, sword out, screaming I'm here. She swipes fast. Bam! Hits the bone guy hard. But she's gagged when she realizes it did literally 0 damage. Narion readies his spear and goes full dragon mode. Durang tries to tank the combo hit, smacking her. Panting, she asks, y'all see him block that? What I as this dude? Najin watches, feeling totally useless right now. Didn't learn squat, but he plots his move. Narion still thinks he's a snitch. Right then, the skeleton keeps staring them all down hard. Nin clutches his sword, figuring out the last spell hack. Stuck, he wonders if he should ditch and go with the knights, or hang with Skelly to get the juicy tea and info. Torn, he faces the drama knowing he's gotta choose fast. Boom! A crazy bright explosion lights up the place. Sliding, Durang yells, he's not moving. Ziz eyes him, Nan gulps, nervous. Grabs his sword and goes, I picked my side. Finally, he's risking it all again. YOLO. Warren's chilling on the floor while the squad stands around. He just sits there, tapping his spear like a boss. Quering asks, this the spot? He nods, yup. Jarun asks why they missed him. Warren goes, dunno. Still sitting in the middle, surrounded by the crew. They explain that dragon martial arts is just for throwing hands with dragons. That move's god tier, only 2 people ever mastered it. Meanwhile, The squad keeps beefing with the skeleton. Naran zips around, prepping for a sniper shot. Durang's like, what is that freak? Ain't normal. Najin's spiraling. Are we wrecking the forest? Are we monsters? So he just eyes the mess, crying over trees while battles go boom. Finally, he clicks that rushing in is suicide, so he hunts for an angle. Meanwhile, Ludica begs Ziz for a strat, but gets a no shot. Just survive. Ziz checks if Durang's ears are working. She snaps at her to read the room and chill. But Durang YOLO rushes the baddie anyway. Asterisk bam, asterisk she smash attacks, cracking the earth. Then she stomps, salty about making zero progress. Suddenly, Skelly teleports right behind her. He dings her sword hard, queuing up a combo. He goes full dragon mode for a finisher. And snap times goes Durang's sword. Ouch. She gets yeeted by the impact. Ludica catches her, whining about the pain. Durang is clearly wrecked. Time out, everyone's wheezing in the woods. Ludica grips her pal. You got a death wish? Relax. Durang just mumbles, thanks. Najin spots a glitch and zooms in. It's go time. Bone Dude stares blankly. The trio preps to charge again. Skelly freezes. A mystery sword pops up behind him. Najin draws his blade. I'm joining Team Skeleton. The girls are absolutely shook. He stares down the enemy, blade gleaming. He looks fierce while his sword crackles. The trio jumps at the loud boom. Ludica realizes, wait, he wants to kill times us asterisk? Durang yells at Ziz to prep, and they dive in. Najin knows he can't solo the boss, but he can snipe an opening. Then, Old Bones is like cute thought, but hurry it up, kid. Slash. His arm splits open. Nin landed a perfect crit. Dude's shocked his wrist is bleeding. Didn't expect that. The vet doesn't stall, calls him ungrateful, and acts. So Skelly throws a haymaker. Z spawns in, tanking the hit for the kid. Nanjin thinks, knew the fam had my back. Suddenly, Ludica yoinks him away with her umbrella. Baddie's triggering hard over the betrayal. Ziz yells at Durang. She goes airborne, ready to smash. She slams down a massive wombo combo. Rocks go yeet everywhere from the crash. Whole zone gets swallowed by dust. Skelly boy pops out of the smog, looking glitchy. He admits he choked, then flexes his dragon arts. He zooms across the wrecked floor. The squad dips while he screams pure RNG. Durang grills Najin for YOLOing it. Pure luck, dummy. He tries to cap, but Ludica cuts him off. Nanjin just smirks. She's actually like, nice one. Shook, he stammers a, thanks. Durang eyes his gear. He's like, dropped my main, looted this. Way back. Skelly's vibe gets super toxic. Raging, he vows to hunt Nin and wreck him. Fist clenched. Nan stands tall, gripping the sword, hoping it doesn't break. Someone asks, where's the search squad? Yolius is hyped to train. Eneljan's like, let's speedrun this. Then he peeps. Smoke and points. Let's check that mess. Luzian's gasping. Ziz gets serious. Spill the tea. He grills the crew, Nanan included, on the last 3 days' fines. Nin locks eyes. You sus of me, Ziz? Ziz shoots back, should I be? I hate lag. He pushes for intel on the skeleton weirdo. Najin nods, ready to spill. Honestly? Zip. Was too busy not dying for 3 days. He mentions one thing, then times thud asterisk. He eyes the skeleton, who's waving a hand. Skelly's like, you expect me to eat weeds? Rude. Hearing that, Nejan figures that's too much information, but rolls with it. Eyes open, he says the lack of info is whatever. Adds that the bone guy joined a squad and new stuff. Staring intensifies. The whole crew gasps, asking about the masks. He chills out, admitting he totally held back on the deets earlier. But that bonehead teamed up with some creeps in patterned masks. Boom, 3 masked weirdos appear. He spills the tea. They're out to flatline the knights by any means. Everyone freaks. Negan figures it's cause he hung out with Skelly. Then he drops a bomb. There's a mole in the second special class. Hints it's a masked guy and swears he ain't lying. Drain gasps. Ziz is like, for real? Who's the sus one? No cap. No name yet, but he's got vibes. Not guessing, he'll spill facts only. Claims he can bail him out if he gets a sec. Zeus asks how, while Lugian notes they quit jogging. Verant says it's chill and actually good. Suddenly, Najin's eyes snap open. Meanwhile, Wadrin and the squad are wheezing hard. He asks, where's the rest? Fiden says Lyman and Miosa are MIA. So Yolia and Nuljan went hunting. Should be back as soon as possible. Nin flips out, asking what went down. Somewhere else, Lyman and Mulsa chill by a fire. Nuljan and Yolia show up, stoked but like, why you still here? Melsa says a creepy skeleton jumped them and she said to hide till help came. Thing was insane. Nuljin met it too. Tried throwing hands, but got wrecked. Asks if they're proud of bailing. But Yolia's like, Nin saved our butts. We'd be toast. Mua's shook. You fought that beast? How? Are you alive? What Najin do? Did he dust it? That's a wrap. Smash like and sub if you dug it. Peace out.